it's setting a new trend. 5.0, 5.0, 5.0. 5.0, 5.0, 5.0. 5.0, 5.0, 5.0. 5.0, 5.0, let's go. 4.0, let them hoes in the dough. 4.0, let them hoes in the dough. 5.0, shutting that down for show. 5.0, 5.0, 5.0. 5.0, 5.0, 5.0. Huh? 4.0, let them hoes in the dough. 5.0, shut that shit down for show. 5.0, 5.0, 5.0. 5.0 is men elevating men. 5.0 is setting brand new trends. 5.0, 5.0, 5.0. 4.0, let them hoes in that dough. 5.0, shut that shit down for show. We're going to get right. Oh, man. Albanese gummy bears. Albanese gummy bears from Albania. Does anybody know? They got 12 different flavors. Albanese gummy bears. They got 12 different flavors. I love them all. I love gummy bears. I'm a gummy guy. Sour gummy cherries. Albanese. Are they from Albany? Albania. I got my mango water. We going in. Deshaun Watson. Me Too is still alive. Who knew Me Too was still alive? I didn't know Me Too was still alive. I didn't know Me Too was still a thing. I thought we were done with Me Too. Who else thought we was done with Me Too? 5.0, 5.0, 5.0. 4.0, let them hoes in the dough. 5.0, shut that shit down for show. Brand new trend. 4.0 is men elevating men. 4.0 is setting a new trend. 5.0, 5.0, 5.0. 5.0, 5.0, 5.0. 4.0, 4.0, 4.0. 4.0, 4.0, let's go. 4.0, let them hoes in the dough. 4.0, let them hoes in the dough. You see that? You see that screen? You see that screen? It's phonetically sound. You can say it at home. I know it sound good. I know the haters love to hate that shit. What's that 5.0 in the chat? Who putting 5.0 in the chat? One time right now in the chat. Let's make them mad. I got my own. I love myself. Hold on. Let me put that in the chat one time, man. One time, man. So every time when you're around the different podcast platforms and panels and commentaries and chat rooms, man, when you see that 5.0, 5.0, 5.0, you know that's your boy, right? You know that's your boy, man. You know that's your boy, man. We in the building, man. One more again, man. I'm so excited, so happy to be here one more again to present to y'all another live television show, another live broadcast from the Perfect Timing Podcast Network. We simulcasting live. My name is Perfect. We simulcasting live on 3 channels right now. Perfect Timing Podcast Live. Thank you, StreamYard, YouTube, Facebook Live. We live on Patrick Potter right now on Facebook. Shout out to all my Facebook family that be watching me, tuning in right now. Let's give them some props. Let's give them some props, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, man. So much, man. I love y'all, man. Hey, thumbs up with the Facebook family. Thumbs up with the YouTube family. You know how we do. We wipe our feet every time we step in the house because it's all about respect, love, and admiration. You know what I'm saying? We real men over here. So we hit the like, we hit the share, we hit the subscribe. Those who are able, hit the donate. You know what I'm saying? What is it? $, Big D Rand, so I can keep investing in Bitcoin, shitcoin, Litcoin, whatever coin, more coin. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Got to feed these babies. You know what I'm saying? All the little ones. Shout out to my brother KNC and Red, man, aka House Phone. How you doing out there, man? This is some good mango water, some good elevation. You know what I'm saying? Some good elevation, some good effervescence. You know what I'm saying? Because we do this shit effortlessly. Effortlessly. You know what I'm saying? That's that PTP way, man. 5.0, 5.0 PTP, Perfect Time Podcast Networks, man. I said networks. Check me out on Instagram, man. We so fly. Perfect Timing. What did I say? I said perfect _timing _podcast. That's Instagram. TikTok, Perfect Timing Podcast. Yeah, we do the TikTok, Rick Rock, hip hop, all that slip slop. Deshaun Watson. Yeah, we're going to talk about it, man. We're going to talk about it, man. I got some videos, you know, people like the videos. It's a live reaction show, but Okay, let's get into it. If you don't know who this is the highest paid QB in football history. So this story is off the meter. This story is off the meat rack. Shout out to my brother Street Doctor. He was playing for the Texans. Now he went to the Browns. The Browns just 4 months ago, he got the highest guaranteed contract ever in NFL history. $230 million guaranteed. Deshaun Watson. Congratulations to Deshaun Watson. Cheers to you, baby boy. Cheers to you, baby boy. But how did it all start? How do we get here today? How do we get here to the NFL suspending Deshaun for 11 games and penalizing him $5 million of this guaranteed money? See, the NFL owners was not happy with the Browns. Hold up, wait a minute. Let me put some boom in it. The NFL owners was not happy with the Browns for giving up this $230 million guarantee. How did we get here, Perfect Timing? Is this me too? Is this me too? We too? She too? He too? 3-2? What the fuck is this? How did we get here? I'm going to tell you how we got here. Deshaun didn't want to play for the Texans no more. Deshaun is one of the best NFL players in the league. Deshaun didn't want to play for the Texans no more. As soon as Deshaun said he didn't want to play for the Texans no more, and the time of which, see, a lot of us, you know, everybody ain't able, you know. Everybody ain't able, everybody ain't specially able, everybody ain't blessed. So those of us with our blessings, man, it's important that we have our spirituality in check so that we make the right decisions, man. Right? You know what I'm saying? Some of us have some extra special blessings, right? So a lot of times when you got extra special blessings, people be like, oh, you need to have the right people around you. No, Perfect Timing is saying you need to have yourself in check. That's what today is about. Selfish Thursdays, man. Having yourself in check, right? Performing adequate self-care, self-love, applying selfishness. You know what I'm saying? That's what today is about. Perfect Timing Podcast on your ass, man. 5.0, 5.0. $230 million guaranteed. That ain't nobody taking that away. He got that. He playing for the Browns. He ain't playing for the Texans no more. But this is a year-long ordeal. This is a year-long ordeal. And over 25 sexual allegations against Deshaun Watson. We getting right into the podcast today, man. So I don't have music and I don't have a break. I'm going to have to wait for my first video for my break to share my show. So I need my 5.0, 5.0, 5.0 to share the show, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we already got the hate watchers in the building. We already got the haters in the house. Haters in the house. Haters in the house. Where my haters at? Haters in the house. We got some haters in the building. We got some haters in the building. We got some haters in the building. Oh, we got some big titties. We got haters in the building. We got some haters in the building. We got some haters in the building. We got some haters in the building. Oh, they got big titties. Haters in the building. Perfect Timing Podcast back on your ass with the blast, man. You know what I'm saying? So I need my 5.0, 5.0. To share the show because we get to the first video. But I want to do my 1-2. I want to do my 1-2, right? I want to do my 1-2. Let's bless the show. Let's bless the show. Let's bless the show. Because we getting right into it. We're not doing no music today. We're getting right into it. So let's let people know that we live. YouTube need help. YouTube need help, and I don't mind helping. I'm going to do my part. You ain't trying to help Ike, because I'm proud of my thumbnails. That's a good, these thumbnails, you know, getting better and better every day. That's a fly-ass thumbnail we got up there. The thumbnails getting better and better every day. God is good, you know what I'm saying? We're improving, you know, exponentially, astronomically. You know what I'm saying? Every day it's a step forward on this journey to Apothos. Did you know it was a race, son? Run the race as to win the race because prizes will be awarded. Did you know it was a race? Shout out to my birthday twin. May he rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. He coined the phrase, the marathon continues. It's a marathon because did you know that it's a race, son? Huh? Did you know that it's a race? And what we do here every day on the Perfect Timing Podcast is we run that race, man. We run the race in such a way to win because we know the Father has told us that prizes will be awarded, right? Prizes will be awarded. God, thank you for this opportunity, this platform, to you once again use this vehicle and this microphone to get out this message you've bestowed upon us. We once again come to you with eyes closed, head bowed, humbly, even though you've blessed us so much, Father. It is with humble hearts that we ask that you place a divine blessing and inspiration upon this podcast and microphone, and a blessing upon those true listeners and true followers who have our words and sound heart minds in their minds and bodies, Father God. And I know you have the ultimate discernment and wisdom beyond all others. We ask that anyone listening while working is blessed and has success in their endeavors and safe passage. To anyone on the way home, because it's 5 o'clock somewhere, thank you for all your blessings and insight. Amen. So we got that. We have to bless the chat, bless the trap. You know what I'm saying? Bless where we at. So today's topic is Deshaun Watson, highest paid QB, highest paid NFL player in history as far as guaranteed money, $230 million guaranteed money. He was suspended. Breaking news, everybody. Breaking news right now. Breaking news. Deshaun Watson suspended 11 games and fined $5 million after being acquitted of 9 counts. After being acquitted of 9 counts. So what has he been suspended for? That's why this is a Black Manosphere topic. That's why it's a Selfish Thursday topic. That's why I'm so excited to do this story. I don't watch sports. I stopped watching sports. I read, I do other things. I exercise, I play with my children, my dog, I have a garden, but I don't watch sports. I don't play video games. So this is not because I'm an NFL sports person. I'm not an NFL sports person. I'm a YouTube content creator and an artist and a member of the Cool Table and the Black Manosphere. This is a Black Manosphere talking point. Now, what we are talking about today is a young brother accused 25 times of sexual allegations. Once he stated he wanted to leave playing on the plantation called the NFL. From the Texans, and I got an investigation video that shows a very rude Texan asking him questions as if he's some type of idiot, which is why I understand why he didn't want to play in Texas. Everybody want to go to Texas. I don't know if you're ready to go to Texas because I don't know if you have ever dealt with individuals who you might meet in Texas. So Deshaun Watson didn't want to play football in Texas anymore, and I'm not surprised he didn't want to play football in Texas anymore. And as soon as he didn't want to play football in Texas anymore, allegation after allegation after allegation after allegation, up to 25 allegations came out against this young brother. And they threatened him with up to 60 allegations. All of you may have heard of the story, and some of you may be asking, well, how could they say 60 allegations? How did it get to 25 allegations? He must have did something wrong. Well, a Perfect Timing Podcast got the details. How could they threaten 60 allegations? Because Deshaun Watson, in 2 years at Texas, has 60 different masseuses. All of the allegations came from different masseuses. He is a professional. I get massages. I have a back injury. I have a bad back, so I get regular massages. I go to one of the interviews I saw said someone goes to Massage Envy. I've gone to Massage Envy gotten massage packages for birthdays for my wife. 7 massages, right? Because I need massages for my back. I go to a place called The Joint here where you get chiropractic work on your back. So, and sometimes it's a different masseuse because Massage Envy is a chain. You might like a certain masseuse, but she could be off that day. So you could have different masseuses on different days. So because over a certain time span, Deshaun Watson had over 60 masseuses, and it was very unique that everybody that filed these charges or allegations against Deshaun was a masseuse. What you have is them threatening, and they must have had his Rolodex or they paid for the massages, and they threatened to contact all 60 women. And they probably did contact all 60 women. Out of the 60 women, they got 25 women to come forward against Deshaun Watson. Me too, he too, we too, she too. Perfect Timing Podcast with the blast on your ass. We're talking about Deshaun Watson today. Guaranteed money. This is a first-time contract. Now, keep in mind, 4 months ago, this is over a year ago, when the allegations start coming out. You see what I got up there? He got the Texans on, but he played for the Cleveland Browns now. Y'all might say, perfect timing. Who gave him the $200 million guaranteed? Cleveland Browns, NFL, 10 years, first-time NFL owner. Y'all remember all the controversy with Cleveland? Right now, we got NFL coaches trying to sue NFL owners for not hiring and using the Bradley rule for interviewing, but not hiring NFL coaches. Perfect Timing Podcast going in today, y'all. But now the Cleveland Browns are the first people in history to give out $230 million guaranteed money, guaranteed money, guaranteed money. You heard me right. I don't even know if y'all know this whole story, boy. I don't even know if y'all know this whole story, boy. I'm going to share my show one more time, man. I'm going to share my show one more time because you weasels ain't paying attention. I don't think you weasels really paying attention, man. Let me get this show out here, man. Perfect Timing Podcast with the black. Let me hit the share button my own damn self at the same damn time, on 2 damn channels at the same damn time, Get masseuses from 2 bitches at the same damn time, You massage your left cheek, you massage your right cheek at the same damn time. Perfect Timing back on your ass with the blast. I ain't playing in here, man. We having a good old time, man. Share the show, man. Let them know we litty like a brand new titty, and it's milky. Yeah, man, ain't nobody fucking with this Perfect Timing podcast, man. I really mean that, man. We the latest in the city, man, and ain't nobody fucking with us, man. I mean, we shitty. We shitty like a baby on colic, man. We shitty. Yo, check this out, man. Deshaun Watson, hey, $230 million guaranteed dollars, man. Hey, somebody look up, man. What them baseball players be getting, man? Because I tell you, man, them pilgrims. Shout out to Rogish. I ain't seen Rogish in a minute, man. Y'all send the prayer and the blessing out to Rogish. We be seeing Toya the Texan all the time, but I ain't seen Rogish in a minute. Y'all send the prayer out to Rogish. Rogish coined the term pilgrims. So it's a lot of pilgrims upset with the fact that Deshaun Watson not getting suspended for a year, not getting more of this guaranteed money taken. Because, see, they don't like when you get this money, brothers. They don't like when you get this money. So the pilgrims is upset, man. So how y'all feel about that? I just want to know, I mean, how much guaranteed money do the baseball players get? Because it's the first time we ever got this guaranteed money, and the other NFL owners is not happy with the Cleveland Browns for this guaranteed money because it sets a precedent. We talk a lot about precedent. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it funky. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people be attempting to do this YouTube shit with partial intelligence and partial knowledge on most issues and come across asinine. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what we do here at 5.0. Like we got real wisdom, real intelligence, real in-depth commentary, research being done here on this podcast. And we grateful and gracious to anybody who supports and watch with us. You know what I'm saying? So check this out, man. It's not no joke what transpired here. There's a lot of factors at play here. We got a young brother, one of the most talented brothers in the NFL, not comfortable playing in Texas. So what's lost in all of this? What's lost in all of this is Deshaun. What's lost in all of this is Deshaun. Why was Deshaun unhappy? What was going on in Texas, right? Why didn't he feel like that was a place where he could grow and have a career? And then to further that point, once he announced that was the way he felt, look how the Texans treated him. That's worthy of discussion, but it's being lost in this whole story. It's being lost in this whole story. So how do you cloud and shroud the treatment of the Houston Texans of this young man who obviously has much value because Cleveland Browns jumped out the window. Cleveland Browns in the midst of the allegations, and as soon as he was acquitted, because we ain't even got to that yet. Y'all know we ain't even got to the whole story yet. This is a great story. It's a great story for media, but it's not great what happened to this brother. It was not great by the way the Houston Texans treated him, but man, this story has so many layers. So he says, I want to leave. We got up to 25 allegations, all masseuse. This culminates into an actual charge. He ends up being charged with 9 counts, 9 different people. So 60 masseuse, 25 allegations, 9 of those women come forward. These are the numbers. This is the Perfect Timing Podcast with the Blast. We giving it to you raw. The reason why they were able to do this is because Deshaun, as a professional player at that high level, needs a masseuse. He's not from Texas. He went through multiple masseuses. He may have used a chain, like I did, like other superstars have admitted to using massage envy, which is a chain, which means you wouldn't have a dedicated masseuse, especially if you're new to this area. You wouldn't have a dedicated masseuse. Now, you hear other black men trying to demonize. You know what I hate about this story as I did my research is every black man that I've seen talking about this, from the NFL to black male YouTube content creators who cover sports, found a way to demonize Deshaun, found a way to say Deshaun was guilty of something. Deshaun, you know why? To give cover for the NFL for double jeopardy. I got a poll right now. Make sure y'all vote in the poll. To give cover for the NFL to try him again. How is it that you get the judgment? You have a separate court. There's an NFL court. There's actually a judge. There's an NFL judge, an arbitrator who made a judgment outside of the actual, it's so convoluted that when you're doing your research, you might say, what judge made what decision? Who was charged with what? So the NFL had a separate investigation, and every media that you hear about, check this out. Let me play something. Let me play something. Every media outlet that you hear from is just completely ignoring the American legal system, like black mango water, like Albanese gummy bear. I'm not going to do y'all like that, but I got one right here. What flavor is this? This is like a teal blue. Albanese gummy bears, 12 different flavors. They good in the mug, boy. Stupid good. Albanese gummy bears. Are they from Albany? Are they from Albania? Albanese gummy bears, 12 different flavors. Good in the mug, man. Every black male from Stephen A to every NFL player who's talked about this issue has found a way to demonize Deshaun. Deshaun is guilty of this. Deshaun is guilty of that, to justify and provide cover for the NFL's double jeopardy. We have corporations running rampant right now. This is what happens under Dibble. Hey, shout out to Tracy and my whole 5.0 crew. This is what happens under Democratic and liberal rule. I made that up with the girls and the sisters here one day, because you know I'm dyslexic. I'll be combining words and shit because my mind moves back faster than my mouth, if you believe that, because I talk really, really, really fast. But if you listen fast enough, I gotta slow down for your monkey ass to catch up, you motherfuckers. Hit the like button and vote. Hate watching ass bitches. Every black male content creator, from Stephen A to NFL players, has found a way to demonize and convict Deshaun when he was acquitted of all charges. Y'all heard me right. 60 masseuse, 25 allegations, 22 civil suits, 9 women came forward in the criminal case, and he was acquitted. He maintained his innocence the entire time. He said, all I want to do is leave Texas. I don't want to play football in Texas anymore. He maintained his innocence the entire time. That wasn't good enough. They treated him like a slave. They didn't give him any guaranteed money. The Houston Texans didn't give him any guaranteed money. They treated him like a slave. And when he wanted to leave, They acted like he did something wrong. When he wanted to leave, they said, you can't leave. We don't let our slaves leave. We'll kill you and destroy you before we let you leave. Think about what happened to Deshaun Watson and every black male content creator. You NFL, you clowns have been finding a way to demonize Deshaun. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Look at this shit.
To be changed. That's a minimum of 1 season. So Deshaun Watson, if all these 22 women lied on him and he wins every civil case, right? All 22 of them, go for it, break the bank. But that's not where we are right now. And we need more information. We need more information also from the Browns on how they got.
So she's saying if he wins all 22 civil cases, fuck the criminal case. Fuck the criminal case. What value do black men have? She's saying if he wins all 22 civil cases from these lying heifers, then maybe he gets to play football and feed his family again. Who the fuck is this bitch? Who the fuck is this bitch? And why is this bitch commenting on NFL players and black men and the racism that exists? This is a gynocracy right here. And you niggas like this bitch. You niggas be saying, oh, she cute and this and that and this stupid ass shit. This bitch get away with motherfucking murder, man. This bitch just said, fuck the criminal case. He was acquitted. He's innocent, bitch. She said, we need more evidence. Of what, bitch? Above and beyond a jury of his peers? This is how we get to idiocracy, y'all. This is how we get to idiocracy. We live in idiocracy right now. This is how we get to idiocracy. When people start saying, fuck the judicial system, fuck the government, fuck the president. This is how we get to idiocracy. And we want to create our own rules that have nothing to do with law and fact. That have nothing to do with law and fact. This is fucking sick.
Got here, how the NFL got here to make this decision. To answer your question, right, Stephen A., and I understand it's a direct question, I just wanted to make those points, but as far as Deshaun Watson in terms of punishment, if he's losing these cases, he should not be playing this entire season. Maybe 2 seasons.
Okay, but no.
And that's why they gave him, that's why he only loses $1 million, Stephen A., because they know punishment might come down. $1 million when you're about to get 220.
No.
That's a slap in the face to all women everywhere. I just need to say something. If he is guilty, Stephen.
Do y'all see today we talked about political theater and propaganda. And it was kind of like, I think I handled myself really well, but I shout out to J-Do. Because J-Do the other day, and I've given J-Do a compliment before, but J-Do really gets it. He's been in the military. He's been, and Kevin C tried to help allude to this about the theater of war and how there's layers to these things and how people play characters and how we need to be more. We need to have more knowledge on how these games are being played, how long they've been played. Like right now, I was truly, fully engulfed in Kev Gills. Shout out to Kev Gills and Coffee and Kush TV. Because basically Kev Gills have been exposing some things. A lot of things I've already known. It's exciting to see him being awoken to some of these things. And basically what Kev Gills is awakening his audience to is what J-Do was saying and has been saying for a couple weeks now when he's been, and I'm very proud of people saying nefarious and insidious because I was the first one to bring vocabulary like that to the space. Yes, I did. But when J-Do talks about the layers, when he was talking about the layers and how some of these things come together, like you have to, I'm gonna play it again. It's only a minute, but you have to listen to how she started off and how she got to women. Did you see how at the very end, I'm gonna play it again, but She said she implied that Deshaun is not innocent. How many people? That's why I'm doing this show. I don't know how many people really understand that Deshaun Watson had been acquitted by a criminal court and that there were actually 9 women who came forward and they were found to be untruthful, more than Cosby. He was acquitted by a criminal court. She's suggesting that we say, this is why my poll is reflective the way it is written, the way it's written. Because even though he was acquitted by a criminal court, basically absolving him from all of these charges that he never did anything wrong. He is 1,000% innocent. He never had no sexual misconduct. How can you say that, Perfect? Because 9 women came forward and went to a criminal court and a judge and 12 peers said he was innocent.
Right? If he loses these cases, he's going to lose. They protected him, so he gets all his money.
But I'm still asking the
right. That rule needs to be changed. That's a minimum of 1 season. So Deshaun Watson, if all these 22 women lied on him and he wins every civil case, right? All 22 of them, go for it, break the bank. But that's not where we are right now, and we need more information. We need more information also from the Browns on how they got here, how the NFL got here to make this decision. To answer your question,
right,
Stephen A., and I understand it's a direct question, I just wanted to make those points, but as far as Deshaun Watson in terms of punishment, if he's losing these cases, he should not be playing this entire season. Maybe 2 seasons.
Okay, but no.
And that's why they gave him, that's why he only loses $1 million, Stephen A., because they know punishment might come down. $1 million when you're about to get 220.
No.
That's a slap in the face to all women everywhere. I just need
a slap in the face to all women. Do you see how quickly this turns? A slap in the face to all women. A slap in the face to all women everywhere. How the fuck is this a slap in the face to all women everywhere when he's completely innocent and this is stemming from a racist football team? Oh, did I say it? Did I say it? We ain't supposed to say that. We ain't supposed to. Shout out to Kev Gills exposing Disney. I've been talking about Disney for I don't know how long, exposing Disney connection to Nazis in Germany. The one thing I would say to Kev Gills and the Kev Gills listeners, look into Mussolini in Italy, right? Because when I did my research into Hitler, one of my very first YouTube videos was on Hitler. One of my very first YouTube videos was on Hitler. And it talked about, did Hitler actually lose and have World War III already transpire? And what I talked about in that video, like when I first started, like a couple years ago, before y'all ever saw me, before I was on Roger Report panel, I talked about Hitler and the Nazis and Operation Paperclip and how they all were brought over to the US and how they all were brought over to Argentina and how Hitler didn't die. So again, with the political theater, like Deshaun Watson being acquitted of all 9 charges, but yet and still, this beautiful, gorgeous woman is saying that he's guilty. All this happened because Deshaun wanted to leave Texas. Correct. All this happened because Deshaun wanted to leave Texas, and they look at us like property. Shout out to Black Uru. We got James Davis in the building. Don't they forget that Big Ben get away. Oh, don't bring up Ben Roethlisberger. And when we talk about Me Too, somehow he was allowed to wiggle out of Me Too. So the guilty white men like Joe Biden's son, they don't get charged, right? They don't, they get to wiggle out of this shit, right? All this happened because he wanted to leave. Taipan said the same women put in 60 time accused Trump in official LL. Facts. So you got, she's saying, throw away the criminal acquittal. And if he wins all 22 civil suits, then he should be able to play. And this is a slap in the face to women. Immediately, it turns into Me Too. Immediately, it turns into propaganda. Let's go. Let's go to another video. I want to hey, that's a good thumbnail. Because she said, we need more information. She said, we need more information. That was a slap in the face. She said, we need more information. Salute, KP. She said, we need more information. The reason why I'm doing this story, what really bothered me about this story is that, like my poll, how is it fair or legal to be tried again when I'm found innocent? Am I not innocent? Is this unique to black men? O.J. Simpson, R. Kelly, Michael Jackson. Like, if I am innocent, how am I not innocent? So even though I'm innocent of all charges, it's obvious I didn't do this. I've maintained my innocence the whole time. 22 women, because now I have 230 million, 22 women with the lower threshold. Y'all understand how civil court works, right? It's a lower threshold. Civil court has a lower threshold. So now 22 women are allowed to sue me. Do you guys know that Bill Cosby was just sued by a woman and won in civil court millions of dollars, even after him being charges reversed? Women admitted to lying. I said, like Black Uru in the building right now, I said that Cosby is going to have to go after these women. Cosby should go after these women for liable. He has to. I said Cosby has to go after these women for liable. Hey, baby, I'm live. Is something wrong?
No, I'm sorry. They just said we need 2 back tires, and it's $120 if we pay in cash. But they plugged the tire, and I said I'll send my husband either tomorrow or we'll come on Saturday.
Okay.
Love you.
Love you too. Thank you.
I miss you.
I miss you too.
Hi, chat. All right, bye.
Bye. 2 back tires on the SUV. Salute to the whole 5.0. If it ain't one thing, it's another. If it ain't one thing, it's another. So that's what really bothered me about this, and how she perpetuated this thing that it doesn't matter if you're found innocent in a criminal court. Like, it's reminding me, this is the power of the gynocracy. It's reminding me of Ice Cube. It's reminding me a lot of things that we discussed. It doesn't matter if you're found innocent in a criminal court. We're still going to convict you in the court of public opinion. I saw black men say, ex-NFL player say he's going to have to deal with this for the rest of his life. Deal with what? He's going to have to deal with what for the rest of his life? How could he have to deal with this for the rest of his life when he's completely exonerated? He was exonerated by a jury of his peers. How does that not matter in 2022? Like 12 people that he never met, a judge found him to be completely innocent. This was completely linked to a racist NFL team who didn't want him to leave. And because he wanted to leave, they wanted to make him pay and never play football again. Take his career and his ability to feed his family. And here is this woman who dates black men. That woman she was married to a black basketball player. This woman dates black men, supposedly is empathetic to a black man's plight. And she is on there talking about that the civil suits, that he would need to win all 22 civil suits. Keep in mind that Bill Cosby just paid one of these lying bitches $1 million after the case was reversed. How does a bitch even get a civil suit after the case was reversed? I think black men in this space, we got to do better of calling out. Shout out to the NIW. Let me put that in the chat. Let me shout out to the NIW, because these black men who are on the internet trying to crucify Deshaun is not part of the NIW. You guys is in the city. You guys is not in the wilderness. Y'all is not in the wilderness at all. Y'all is not in the wilderness. Not in the least bit. Now, she said Deshaun was guilty. Let's take a look at this video. This is Deshaun and his lawyers coming out of court from Again, these are the numbers, you guys. He was threatened by the Texans with up to 60 allegations. Perfect. How could they say it could get up to 60? He has 60 different masseuse. He ended up with 25 allegations, all of which were masseuse. Out of the 25, he has 22 civil suits, and there were 9 that reached the level of criminality that garnered a trial. There were 9 accusers that went to criminal court. This is the outcome.
To him, I think this may be the first time they've seen you in regular clothes for months or a year or whatever. We're absolutely delighted with what the grand jury concluded, which is what we've been saying to everybody all along. Deshaun never committed any crime at all or did anything wrong. And as we understand it, the grand jury heard evidence based on all of the criminal complaints, all 9 of them, and returned no bills, no charges on all 9 of them. And we are absolutely delighted. I've asked Deshaun not to talk about any contacts or anything, but I understand that people would at least like to hear the voice of this guy that you've only seen his lawyers on. It's hard for me to, so look, it's just part of the team. When we practice law, ever so often, we get a charge from the effort with a bunch of people for somebody that we know is being incredibly unfairly treated. We've listened to.
I'm so fat. Brendan, you're not fat. It's the shirt. Look at Nate. His true classic is tied around the chest.
We've listened to all of the complaints of those that are making these allegations against him. We've tried to be respectful to them, but this man has not done a single thing wrong, and this is the first step for them. My understanding, y'all can correct me because we weren't down there, that they heard several hours. One person in the meeting said 6 hours. I don't know whether that's true or accurate or not, but whatever they heard, citizens in Harris County had a chance to listen to evidence and make a decision. And we are extremely thankful of it. We feel like we've been treated fair by the whole system. It's
Powerful, man. Powerful. He said so often we get cases where we know the person is innocent, but we know they being railroaded and being treated extremely unfairly. He said, come here, man. He said, because he was just so upset and so taken aback. Look at KP from KC5 said, public lynching of this man. Damn shame. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. He said, sometimes we get cases like this. And he was just upset. He was disgusted. Where it's obvious someone is being treated extremely unfair. You know what that's code for? Anybody know what that's code for in the chat? Anybody look like me know what that's code for in the chat? Let me cut my camera on. Huh? Anybody got this skin color right here who might know what he means? Well, every now and then you get a case where it's blaringly obvious that the person is being treated extremely unfair. He can't even figure out why we're here. How did this even get to be a case? Huh? Somehow it keeps happening to people who look like me. Let's hear it one more time. I want to hear this one more time.
They heard citizens in Harris County had a chance to listen to evidence and make a decision. And we are extremely thankful of it. We feel like we've been treated fair by the whole system. It's taken a long time, but it's worth every minute of it. Now, if you have any questions, I'll be glad to try to answer them. But I want y'all to understand, we're still facing a slew of civil lawsuits, and that's why Deshaun's not going to want to get into any of the facts or anything. But I realize you don't want to hear from a lawyer, and you would rather hear from him. And it's the first time he's spoken since he sent about this matter, since he sent out a tweet back in, I guess, March of last year. So maybe I can be the ringmaster to a certain degree and just ask you if there's anything you want to tell the public. If you can hit these people.
Yeah, I just first want to say it's definitely a very emotional moment for me. I know we're far from being done of handling what we need to handle on the legal side, but today is definitely a big day, and I thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for, you know, letting the truth be heard, and I think everyone that was a part of this, of seeing and hearing both sides, and that's what my point and my team wanted to do is have a fair slate of us telling our side of the story, and letting the conclusion come down to what happened today, and that's what the grand jury decided on. So yeah, thank you, and I just thank my Lord and Savior, and just gonna keep fighting to rebuild my name and rebuild my appearance in the community, and you know, we're gonna continue to, on the legal side, off the field, handle what we need to handle, but also ready to get back on the field, been prepping for that, and ready to go for that. So thank my family, all my close supporters that's been behind me this past year. Thank my team that's been behind me and supporting me and keeping me up this past year. And yeah, I'm going to continue to just keep pushing forward and build my name back to where it was, if not better. Thank you.
So let me. I'm sorry. What was your question?
What do you say, Deshaun, to fans who've lost faith in him?
The question was, what does he say to fans that lost faith in him?
That's part of life. You know, you hear things, and that's the way of, you know, social media, and things happen, you know, in today's world. I still love my fans, even the ones that believe the other side or whatnot. But at the same time, you know, things are, you know, happen for a reason, and people are entitled to their own opinions. But you know, today justice was served for us, and
Do not skip this YouTube ad if you've been injured in a car accident and want to be compensated with big checks like.
and yeah, that's pretty much it.
So let me mention. I know you've got other questions. Let me mention one thing is, I want y'all to go back to where this began, and I continuously, and our team said, we welcomed and wanted police involvement. We wanted thorough police investigations. We begged these women, if they believed that he had committed a crime and he had done what they were saying, they ought to go to the police. That's what everybody that's a victim of one of these things or believes they are. That's where it should start, is with the police. And so really, they only made these criminal complaints after we continued to urge them to do so. They did so, they were listened to, and we were vindicated in the sense that what we believed would happen, that if law enforcement thoroughly looked at these matters, that we would have the result we had today.
Mr. Hart, I know there are more depositions scheduled for next week. What bearing does this have on the civil case, if anything? What are you looking forward to on that side of it?
We're scheduled to start depositions on Tuesday on behalf of 2 other women. He'll fully answer questions there. And he won't be taking the 5th. I have said all along that when the criminal investigation was completed, we would answer their questions. But nobody but an insane lawyer would ever suggest that you would let him be asking civil deposition questions or answering them while the criminal investigation is completed. This puts to bed any criminal allegations or suggestions. What they presented to the grand jury today was everybody that has made a criminal complaint. And the grand jury spoke. That's behind us. Now we'll answer all their accusations and what they want to do in the civil case. It'll proceed as normal. Pardon?
Has Deshaun, have you heard from the NFL or the Texans since this verdict today?
Personally, I have not. That's a question for my agent, David Mulligetta.
And for y'all to understand, we always kept this criminal and the civil matters, the legal matters, separate from negotiating with teams and football stories. Okay, so we have been providing the NFL information as this went, and I'm sure they're going to do a thorough investigation. They customarily wait till the criminal matter is over, and I would expect them now to be aggressively investigating while we're continuing with the civil cases.
Deshaun, you know, the rest is saying that you'll speak more in civil depositions now, not exercising pleading the fifth. You talked about your chance to say your side in the way that you can since last year. You know, the silence in between. What is your side through this past year?
No, he's not going to be his side. We'll do that in the civil side. We'll do that in court.
Deshaun, is there anything that you can tell these women that made these accusations?
I think we don't want to answer that. I'm sorry. And because this is not the place to do it. I mean, we've been saying all along is the place to do it is in the criminal investigation and then the lawsuits and everything. Standing out here in the street corner talking to these women, first of all, I want to respect their position. They have a right to take that position, and we don't want to walk him into that. We obviously he feels strongly about certain things. We do. Nothing be gained about us talking about it. It's been a pleasure to see y'all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can I just ask about the NFL and some of the football?
Hella some details, right? We got a thumbs up on Facebook. Shout out to the Facebook family. 5.0, 5.0, 5.0, 5.0, 5.0, 5.0. Some hell of a details, right? They never went to the police. Think about the Cosby case. A lot of the things I talk about is obvious that people don't want to hear, the algorithm don't want to hear. I don't give a fuck. I'm going in on this shit today. Think about the Cosby case and how we got to where we got to with the Cosby case. Y'all know it was 3 trials with the Cosby case. Y'all know Andrea Constance couldn't pinpoint the day. She never could pinpoint the day. The police tried to help her. She never could pinpoint the day and time it happened. Every time she came up, it was such a lie. It was such a concocted story that every time she came up with the date and time, it wasn't that Cosby said that that didn't happen that day. Is when the police would investigate, before they even spoke with Cosby, they found that he was out of town doing a concert. So before Cosby even heard anything, they came back to her and it's like, it can't be that date. And it's happened so many times that the lead investigator went to the district attorney and said, look, man, I got this lady keeps saying Bill Cosby did something to her, but she can't come to me with the clean story of what actually happened. So I don't feel comfortable with making a charge of such a high profile person. How do I move forward? She never could say what happened. They made up the whole thing. And it only happened after her friend said, oh, you should go to the police. I can get some money. The Houston, Texas put out fake allegations. Political theater, like we talked about today on Roger's panel. They use these women as political operatives to get to a certain goal with this person who was a commodity, right? He hired a lawyer, a brilliant lawyer. His lawyer forced their play, chess. He played chess, not checkers. Okay, my client is innocent. If you believe my client is guilty of a crime, go to the police and file a police report. Isn't that funny that we hear in this expose that the women had never filed a police report? If they felt that they were sexually assaulted, how come they didn't file a police report at the time of being sexually assaulted? 25 women, maybe 60. This is the same thing about Bill Cosby. So you're going to say that this is why would 60 women not come forward? Why would 60 women not come forward? See, we got somebody in the chat right now. I think we've been having a lot of haters and hate watchers this whole day. This is why it's so important for the 5.0 crew to be in the building. But I still love you guys. I haven't seen Ken. I see KP from KC Red. We got the Elder Black Uru in the building. We got Ty Pan in the building. James Davis in the building. So I'm feeling very happy and blessed. You know what I'm saying? So I understand. And even Brandon, thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting, because a lot of the people who watch with your opinion are not are scared to leave a comment. So I thank you for commenting. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and vote in the poll. Let your opinion be heard in the poll. Anybody who don't want to comment in the chat, you can let your opinion be heard in the poll. But this is a popular opinion online. 22 allegations. Obviously, he did something. It's actually more than 22, Brandon. It was 25 allegations, and the Houston Texans threatened him to actually go up to 60. So just to give you some details, so next time you come into the chat, it's good to watch from the beginning, right? Because perfect timing might roast you, but I'm in a good mood right now. So I'm not gonna flambe your bitch ass, right? So I'm gonna just give you a little saute. I'm not gonna flambe your bitch ass. I'm not gonna bring you to the hibachi. I'm not gonna turn it up all the way. I'm just gonna give you a little saute. So the reason why I say 60 allegations, and I said it was theater, political theater by the Houston Texans is because the Houston Texans knew that he had 60 different masseuses. All of the 22 allegations that Brandon is speaking of, they're all masseuse. A lot of people didn't know that. They're all massage therapists. So out of the 60 massage therapists that he had in 2 years in Texas, because he's not from there, he's new to play there, and he probably went to chains like Massage Envy. If you would have paid attention, you would have heard that. Because I myself have gone to Massage Envy. You know, I've gotten a gift from Father's Day from Massage Envy with 7 massages. It was a different masseuse every time. So am I a sexual predator? Brandon, am I a sexual predator because my wife bought me a massage package? Am I a freak like the black men who are like the black men who from the NFL who are calling Deshaun Watson a freak or some type of pervert because he had a lot of different masseuses that he wanted something? Why is that only men? You don't understand how sexist this comment is, Brandon? This comment is extremely sexist. I don't think you understood it when you said it, but the comment is extremely sexist toward heterosexual men, as if we cannot participate in something like this without being aroused or having sex. Everything is sexual and lust for you, Brandon, for men, and that's not actually the reality. I know you didn't understand these details when you said that because you're ignorant to these facts, and you think men can only be lustful. You don't know that men are intellectual, spiritual. But that's what we hear at 5.0. That's why I play that song in the beginning. Because 4.0 let them hoes in the dough. 5.0 shut that shit down for show. 5.0, 5.0, 5.0. 5.0, 5.0, 5.0. It's something different over here. It's something different over here. So 60 masseuse. The Houston Texans threatened to go to 60. They only could get 25 of the masseuse to come forward. 22 are civil allegations. And out of those allegations, his lawyer said none of them went to the police, just like in the Cosby case. 90 women came forward, but none of them went to the police until it was advantageous for them to make some money or fame. Isn't that odd? I don't give a fuck if you don't like my opinion on Bill Cosby. Get the fuck up out of here. Bill Cosby was innocent from the motherfucking beginning. None of them went to the police. 90 white women protected a black man? Why the fuck would 90 white women protect Bill Cosby in American apartheid? During the time when this happened, my mama couldn't even go to the same water fountain as your mama. So why the fuck would white women protect the black man during this time? It makes no fucking sense. You guys don't know black water fountains, white water fountains. But my mama had to go to separate water fountains in her high school. So you gonna fucking tell me that Bill Cosby and white women did not just go to the police in droves, 90 fucking white women? Bull fucking shit. So out of 25 allegations, his lawyer pushed back and said, okay, if you say he did something, a sexual assault, that's serious. You should go to the police. You probably should have went to the police when it first happened. That's okay. You're a woman. We treat women like babies. We infantilize women in Western society. So because we infantilize women, we give them the benefit of the doubt and we allow them to file criminal charges after all physical evidence have expired. What kind of fucking nation is this? Because we infantilize women, we allow them to file criminal charges after all physical evidence is fucking gone and irretrievable. I.e. Meg the fucking Stallion. 30 days after a fucking incident, this bitch is allowed to file criminal charges after all physical fucking evidence is gone and irretrievable. Holy fucking simoleons, man. Holy fucking simoleons, man. But okay, fuck it. We're gonna infantilize these bitches. We let these bitches go to the police. Out of the 22, 9 of these cunts went to the police. And we get a criminal trial. We get a judge. We get a peer. We get a jury of his peers. Isn't that fucking America, red, white, and fucking blue? Isn't that fucking America, red, white, and fucking blue? So we get 9 women to come forward. Out of the 9 women, they listened to hours and hours of testimony. A grand jury was convened, and he was acquitted. He was found innocent of all charges, 1,000%. But a lot of the details never came out. How he was treated in Texas never came out. How they could have gotten him a masseuse never came out. How they knew about the 60 masseuses never came out. How all of the accusers were masseuses never came out. How if you have to go to a chain like Massage Envy, and if you're a professional sports player, you might get a massage every day, twice a day, at least 3 times a week. There's something called sports medicine. I work with doctors in sports medicine. Kaiser's one of the first health programs that has sports medicine. A lot of people have sports medicine now, but Kaiser was one of the first to have a sports medicine clinic to deal with injuries that resulted from sports. So you might get regular massages. And if you're not from Houston, Texas, you might have to go to a chain like Massage Envy. And every time you go, there may be a different masseuse. And you may pay with a credit card from your football team. So they may know that you've had a lot of different masseuses. And they may threaten you when you say, I want to leave Houston and play for a different team. And they may say, you've had a lot of massages, Deshaun. You sure you want to leave Houston? What do you mean? Well, someone like you with 60 massages, something had to happen. No, sir, nothing happened. Matter of fact, hold on. For Ragnarok, hold on. For you guys, hold on. For all you guys in the chat with that bullshit, hold on. I do my research. I do my research. He was acquitted. I do my research.
Thing about their skill level to give you a massage. So what I'm trying to figure out, Mr. Watson, is why you would post something on Instagram suggesting that you were in New York City when you were instead in Houston getting a massage.
On the advice of my lawyer, I assert my rights under the 5th Amendment.
Trained,
I'm not sure, sir.
schooled.
I'm not sure, sir.
Did you tell the Texans you were doing that?
No, sir.
Did you tell your trainer you were doing that?
No, sir.
Pretty risky to go to someplace you've never been before, to have somebody you didn't really know, you didn't know anything about their skill level to give you a massage. So what I'm trying to figure out, Mr. Watson, is girlfriend.
Because that wasn't my intention, sir.
Okay, so you can't, what your intentions were.
I can't answer that. I have a girlfriend, so that wasn't my intention, sir.
Okay, so you can't answer that because you have a girlfriend.
Because that's not what I was looking for.
What did you want from her?
Just a massage.
Was she a massage therapist?
Yes, sir.
Licensed?
I'm not sure, sir.
Trained?
I'm not sure, sir.
Schooled?
I'm not sure, sir.
Did you tell the Texans you were doing that?
No, sir.
Did you tell your trainer you were doing that?
No, sir.
Pretty risky to go to someplace you've never been before to have.
I've been in rooms like that with motherfuckers like that. Like, it really hurts when people say 22 allegations before you even know anything what the fuck you talking about. That man is a man of high respect. And it doesn't matter what level we come to. It's like Clarence Thomas with the Coca-Cola can. You know what the fuck it took for Clarence Thomas? That's why I did a show. Because, hold on, Clarence Thomas. You know what the fuck it took for Clarence Thomas to become a Supreme Court fucking justice? He was qualified 5 times before that fucking time with Anita Hill. And people who couldn't even carry his fucking water bottle questioned him about that bullshit. Who don't know his character, didn't know his spirituality, how long he had been married, that he went to seminary, questioned him about bullshit he would never fathom to do. Do you hear how this young man spoke, how he articulated himself? But it don't fucking matter because he's black. 22 allegations. Bill Cosby was put in jail 80 years old, blind, and we got a fucking petition to get this white bitch who got Emmett Till beat to death and all the motherfucking black bodies in that lake, and that bitch still ain't arrested. No, sir. No, sir. Did you hear that Texas? It was almost like a movie. I almost want to cry when I watch that shit because it's almost like a movie from the 80s that I watched growing up, and I was like, Mama, I don't want to watch this movie. And that make you hate white people. Did you hear the way he talked with that Texas twang? Well, why would you do this? Well, no, sir. And that young man was raised well, which is why he got $230 million, which is how he got to the NFL. Do you know it's only like it's 300 players, but it's only like 10 jobs available. It's so hard to get to the NFL and the NBA. This is the elite of the fucking elite. They've been trained and groomed. All that's thrown out the fucking window. 22 allegations. He had to do something. At least listen to him speak. Look in his fucking eyes. Humanize him before you say that shit. I'm going to give the floor to you, Ragnarok. Go ahead, man. Show you thank you for joining.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shit show all around. Like, you know me, I'm white and somewhat native. So, like, from what I know, like, there's college football leagues where, like, even white guys get involved in this shit. But it doesn't get as much media response. And, like, the way they tinge it, you're not wrong. It makes people hate white people. That's a whole other level of disgusting when this shit goes around. Like, it really does. Like, it's allegations. Is there evidence? Is there this, that, and the third? You know, it's like Johnny Depp little shit. It's ridiculous. Like, shit. Even when I was working at this one spot, this girl went to HR, said some lies when I gave her advice, turns around, goes to HR. I lose my job just because. It's either I lose my job or I get sued.
My bad, bro. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, it was fucked up. She's like, it was lies too. Like, all the staff knew, my boss knew. The next job I went to, I told them the whole story at the interview, like all sides, and they still hired me because they knew it was bullshit. Like, it's just retarded. So, like,
God is good, man.
yeah, he is. One thing I realized, man, you said it yourself, man. We infantilize women in the West. Like, I'm in Canada, man. This shit happens here too. Like, it's ridiculous. It gets to a point where you just can't trust shit, man. Like, you got dudes always wearing a fucking wire on them now when they go out to the club. Because you don't know what a girl's gonna say. It's her word against yours. You just don't know. Like, even an ABBA and Preach did a video recently. A girl on video, she said yes. Yes is yes, even though we're drunk, both drunk. So, like, that's one thing I hate, man. Like, you can get pissed drunk with a woman, you're both drunk, you end up, you know, letting carnal nature kick in, but then in the morning she's got a hungover, she's got a headache, and she realizes she slept with you, and she regrets it, and then she makes up some bullshit. Like, so there's actually a state now, I forget which one, I think it's Tennessee. If a woman makes a false claim of sexual assault, she gets the time, like the whole sentence.
Let's go, Tennessee.
I think it's Tennessee. I'm not sure. I think so. It's one of the states in America who did that because, like, it's ridiculous, man. Like, that's why I don't even show women much anymore, man. Like, I got my girls. I'm good, man. Like, gotta be cautious out here. And, like, so this guy's got 22 allegations.
25.
25.
And they threatened to go to 60 because he has 60 different masseuses.
So masseuse, the guy's busting his ass as an athlete. And, like, who's to say these masseuse joints aren't, like, trafficking people, which that shit happens.
Yep. It's big. It's big. It's a lot of layers to this case. Like, and I don't know how many people who heard the case actually knew the details that I've uncovered. that all of the reason why the Houston Texans were able to threaten him and why this investigation, that guy was asking him questions like that, is because they knew that he had to go through so many masseuses because he was new to town and it's part of sports medicine. And they probably were footing the bill because it's part of the contract. So that's why they had the intimate knowledge that he had 60 masseuses, and they could, out of the 60 different masseuses, they only got 25 to go along with the propaganda. Out of the 25, only 9 were willing to lie to the point of going to a criminal court, because that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be scary. Like, it's one thing if you pay me money to say something, but now his lawyer pushed back on the NFL and said, oh, okay, you got these women, huh? But what I read from my research, nobody's ever gone to the police on my client. So if you have women that's happened, this is very serious. They should go to the police. Now, half of the women that came forward back out like, nah, y'all told me I wasn't going to have to go to the police. I don't want to be involved with the police. Only 9 out of 60. Only 9 out of 60 agreed to go forward with the criminal trial. And they listened to hours of testimony from that lawyer. Hours and hours, and our grand jury was convened and he was found innocent.
And the other thing, so the NFL is getting $5 million in a fine from him. So they're making dough. This is about money. It's about money. Like, this has happened to white NFL guys, even Latino ones. Like, this shit happens. Like, it's all about the money. It always was. The fact that they frame it so that it's a black dude, it just causes people to hate white people. That's exactly what they want.
Right, I agree. It's about money. The NFL owners are upset with this guaranteed contract of $230 million, and the Texans were upset that they would lose this commodity. Right. It was never about black. Black comes into play from the media. The talking heads use race to generate views. Stephen A., the lady that I played, she even threw in Me Too and women. This is a slap in the face to all women. So now it's about sex. It's about race. It's about all this shit that triggers the algorithm and that gets you clicks and likes and views.
So literally the narrative is, oh, we got a white prosecutor charging a black sportsman, and there's women involved, so all the women are on the whole narrative side now, and like the only people on his side is black men and white men who are like, yo, this is bullshit.
Correct.
Like, correct. But they don't want to look at that. They don't care.
No, today I've seen mostly black men. Most of the white men haven't had any. It actually surprised me. I saw a white dude. I thought he was going to go in, and he didn't. He said he talked about the fact that it was a good thing that the contract was $230 million. Like, oh, okay. But the black men today, all of the black men that I did, when I did my research today, they've all found a way to crucify Deshaun and provide cover for the NFL's punishment, right? Deshaun did say Deshaun is guilty of being a freak. That's hell of insulting. Did you see the interview of that young man? That young man was respectable. You know what I mean? And this brother,
well, have you noticed, like, most of these feminist types, they blame white straight men. So most of these cases, even the fake ones, are actually disproportionately against white men. And the fact that this is happening to a black man now, where's his brothers? They don't care.
It hurts, bro. It hurts, bro. Like I'm the only video that I've seen defending Deshaun. That's a black man. Every other black man I've seen, when they learn about the 60 masseuses and the 22 allegations, it generates clicks, right? It's provocative to be a black man and to dislike black men. So to say that Deshaun is wrong in some type of way, those videos are getting views, and it is very disrespectful and disproportionate to
Well, do you know who the disproportionate viewers of like soap operas and drama TV shows and high trigger narrative stuff is? It's women.
Right. They're they're pandering. We infantilize women and then we pander to them. That's why that woman was empowered to say that this is a slap in the face to all women, when actually what really happened is the criminal justice system worked as it should. Right? That's what happened with Roe versus Wade. It was a white woman who was a conservative who said, you know, we could look at this from a different angle. right? We have a lot of bullshit in politics. But what really happened with Roe versus Wade is there was a political fraction who didn't agree with the political decision. They organized for 20 years. They didn't kill people. They didn't do nefarious shit, and they got their political advantageous motives successful via politics. This was successful way that American politics should work. We should hold it up as an
Yeah,
example.
and they found out like only 19% of women still support feminism because it's not let's get votes or equal rights anymore. It's just hate on men now, and I actually applaud the women who realized that and walked away because like it's getting ridiculous.
I mean,
And like the whole Roe v. Wade thing, man. Like another thing I don't like is like when black men say, "Oh, that's because the white birth rate is down." Yeah, it is down. But the thing is, going against Roe v. Wade also stops the disproportionate amount of abortions in the black community. It's two birds.
like why wouldn't so why wouldn't you be happy with that? It's like it makes no. It's a self-defeating.
Yeah, like I've seen people who are pro-black but be pro-abortion at the same time, and I'm like, bro, that doesn't make sense.
No, you can't be both.
It doesn't make sense.
No, you can't. That's an ignorant person. You can't be both. You can't. So my thing today, Ragnarok, and in my poll is the fact that he was acquitted in the criminal court. How is it that, because when you do the reading and the research, I got an article here I'll bring up. When you do the reading and the research, you hear about a different court and you hear about a different judge. And what happens is the NFL has its own court and its own judges. You know, the NFL works with the government. A lot of people don't know that, just like Disney.
Oh yeah, bro. They're one of the biggest tax paying like out there, and like every time there's a Super Bowl, that's when they pass like crazy bills, like massive bills. Like the last bill they tried but failed to push through at the last Super Bowl was the Green New Deal. This whole new inflation bill, the reason they got so much flack is because it's literally half of the Green New Deal. It's not about inflation. They're just trying to push through what they've been trying to push through. And the funny thing is they got half of it through. Like they did. It's like it's like you know what's funny? Even Kissinger, one of the biggest neocon warmongers out there, was like, look, you're trying to tell the American people that expanding the IRS, upping taxes, and printing more money, you're trying to tell Americans that this is going to solve inflation?
Yeah.
Like the most warmonger dude was like, dude, you're dumb.
He said, have you ever seen a nation that taxed this way out of a recession? It is like I'm dumbfounded. Like he's so right. It's like, how do you tax your way out? You know what I mean? But check this out. This is what I mean. On the screen, you got an article from the NFL, and it talks about judges, right? It talks about Roger Goodell and what actually happened with the NFL. So there was a whole separate trial. And I want my audience to understand and know that I want to know, as America, are we okay with that? With corporations having these type of courts? I'm afraid
an internal court,
right?
Like a fucking HR or some shit.
But a court though, this says that there were judges. It says this settlement requires compliance with the professional evaluation and treatment plan, a significant fine, and more substantial suspension. We are grateful to Judge Robinson and Peter Harvey for their efforts in addressing these matters, which laid the foundation for reaching this conclusion. So there was a judge that said that he should get suspended 6 games, but Roger Goodell disagreed with that. Right, the initial judgment, and I don't know who the fuck this is. I need somebody to educate me because I don't know much about this NFL court. This is confusing to me. All I know is this is totally separate from the civil cases. This is totally separate from the criminal cases, which he was acquitted. But
bro, it's a court operating on the basis of guilty until proven innocent. It's like what?
Right. And it sounds like to me that these are not like fake judges. Like that's why we brought up the whole the government gamut of the NFL. Somehow the NFL.
Bro, this reminds me, like colleges and universities, they have their own HR councils and their internal court systems. It's like this is why dudes Like be they like any dude in a college or a uni are very cautious when they talk to the women on campus because like they can say one thing, go to that internal college court, and bro, you're done. Like everything's done. You're done. Your tuition's gone. You paid for it. You're not gonna get it back. You're going to jail. Like automatically. It's like what the fuck.
Check this out. Check this out. The league and players union reached the agreement ahead of a ruling by former New Jersey Attorney General Peter C. Harvey, who was designated by Goodell to hear the league's appeal of Watson's 6-game suspension. This shit gets deep, bro. This is like the FDA and the board of directors of Johnson and Johnson and Merck and shit like that, going back and forth. Like
It's a court.
Right.
Literally.
So you go directly from attorney general to being a judge in the NFL. Who knew the NFL had judges, and who knew that the people working as judges in the tribunals in the NFL? I thought this was America. I didn't know you could do shit like this. Is almost like a miniature government. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how the fuck can you do that? Like, that's opposing the king.
Bro,
Like,
it is a miniature government. Like that's the thing, man. Like all these corporations, they're all mini governments. The government itself, just like Elon Musk said, is just the actual government is a monopoly on violence. That's it. Like,
right.
So like,
I don't know how
there's no justice, bro. Like that's why I'm of a mind to just let it burn, because like this system is so done. It's at a point where a reboot is kind of necessary, and I hope it's a peaceful one, because we actually need the Constitution to be respected. And even in Canada, bro, like our charter rights is not respected.
Right.
That's fucking ridiculous. You have so many things going on. It's just power mongering, man. Like the West is becoming what it was against. We're becoming ultra communists. We're becoming Soviets. You know what a Soviet means in Russian? It means a council.
Yes, we are. Little by little, and that's what Black Lives Matter intention was. They said that we are trained Marxists, but a lot of people are. I don't want to talk about
that. That went over their heads, man.
It went over so many fucking people's head. I did a show, they took it down. I did a show about Karl Marx and the Communist Manifesto, and so many people in the Black manosphere didn't watch that. I'm like, do you know who Karl Marx is? And then the other guy, it was two guys. They wrote it together. One did socialism, one did communism, and it's the Communist Manifesto. These bitches is like, how did you not learn this in school? What the fuck was you doing? What was you doing?
Like, bro, like, I don't want to go too deep, but like Yuri Bezmenov defected and warned. Like, he really did, man. Like Call of Duty Black Ops, that trailer where they show that old dude. He's like, yes, it's happening. You're at war, motherfucker. Like, it's active measures. And another thing,
you're rationing food, goddammit. You're rationing food and energy, goddammit. Simply because you have cable, y'all don't fucking know it, man. They gotta cut the fucking TV off. If the TV was off, then people would be like, hey, something ain't right.
like Manning Johnson. You ever heard of them?
No, sure.
They recently nuked his website, which had his whole book on it. It was manningjohnson.org. You won't be able to find it anymore. So that website got nuked. Do you know why?
No.
Manning Johnson was a high-level communist in the American Communist Party. He was invited to Russia. He was invited to the Comintern, which is the International Communist Council. And he defected, abandoned them, and realized they just wanted to use black people as cannon fodder. It's like anybody who read Manning Johnson's book, Color, Communism, and Common Sense. I want you to write that down. You can still buy the book. So, Color, Communism, and Common Sense by Manning Johnson. 2 N's. He exposed it all. He said he was sold a Bill of Rights of like global unity of people, and this, that, and the third, and social justice, like all the shit you hear people talking about right now. He literally said he was sold that himself in his head. He was sold that by these people. He bought into it for a while. Then he realized they're just using black people. They're going to use black church pastors. They're going to use any kind of black organization. Like Black Panthers, they're communist as fuck. You ever ask the question why? So, and then after he came out, after his farewell speech, he was found dead in a car crash.
Damn.
This guy did more than Martin Luther King Jr., and you have not heard about him. There's a reason for that. Yeah. Like, bro, I want to build a statue of Manning Johnson, okay? I really
I'm gonna
do.
have to do a research on the man and maybe bring it out. Let me read this other thing. As far as just to let people know more, it says Watson's initial discipline was handed down by disciplinary official Sue L. Robinson on August 1st. Robinson, a former federal judge. So now, Ragnarok, we got a former attorney general, the top cop of the state, and a federal judge, both working for the NFL. In this in a tribunal court system that exists for these black men, and they've never even talked about it. As an NFL player and a black man, why aren't you telling people about this? Why don't people know that this type of thing exists? Right? A former federal judge wrote a 16-page report that NFL successfully carried its burden to prove by a preponderance of evidence that Mr. Watson violated personal conduct policy by engaging in sexual assault. How could that be when he was acquitted in the criminal court? This is a separate court. This is double jeopardy. This is not American. It violates his right. I don't give a fuck if they're a private corporation. When did it start saying that this never happened when I was a kid in the 80s, that private corporations just to get the break, you work here so you don't have rights no more. That's bullshit. Just because I work here don't mean I stop being American. Conduct that poses a general danger to safety and well-being of another person, and conduct that undermines and puts risks integrity of the NFL. How? According to Robinson's report, the NFL had argued Watson should be suspended for at least the entire 2022 season. They wanted to suspend him for the whole year based on the fact he was guilty of sexual assault in their own separate court. How is that legal? And stop me from being able to feed my family. Stop me, and it's a short window of playing NFL. Basically, I would be no longer a football player if the NFL was able to use this tribunal in this way. I don't think that's American at all. So I wanted to illuminate that and educate my audience on the fact of what's actually, as you hear the black man talk about Deshaun Watson is a freak and he must have did something and he's a pervert, without ever hearing this young man speak and understanding his vocabulary, his intelligence, his articulation of how he made his point, and that he always maintained his innocence, and that from the beginning that this only came out, these allegations only came out when he announced that he wanted to leave Texas.
Well, bro, even if he was a freak, I wouldn't care, especially if they're consenting. I just wouldn't care.
Good point. I didn't think about that. So what? Why put the shit in the game? Good point. Why put the shit in the game? If his sexuality wasn't heterosexual, I don't think that comment would have been able to fly. This has been a very sexist, and this happens a lot with black heterosexual men. They make jokes about us going to prison. Oh, he's scared to go to jail. You know what's gonna happen to him in jail. Or he must have liked it, or he must like those women, and he had to have, like, it's very demeaning. What really bothered me is listening to this young man speak and being in his shoes and knowing what it's like to be in a room with that white man and knowing that you're more intelligent than him, that you were raised to be a better person than him, but he is more empowered to treat you like a dog. And you have to maintain. He doesn't have to maintain decorum, but you have to maintain decorum. And no matter what you say, you're still going to be found guilty. Even though he was found innocent in a criminal court, the Houston, Texas still got their issue of blood. They still got their issue of blood. $5 million in 11 games. Now, Deshaun Watson is the first NFL player with $230 million guaranteed by the Cleveland Browns. Soon as that acquittal came down, the Cleveland Browns negotiated and gave him that contract. And since then, it's been a shitstorm. And this is
Bro, I think they're pissed that they're
they're
giving him
pissed.
that much money, man.
Oh, they're pissed.
They're pissed.
They're pissed.
Like you have these people who make the argument like, oh, all these black dudes in sports, it's like the gladiators and they're just rich slaves. No, they're not slaves at all. They busted their ass to get there. And now they get paid so much that the owners fucking hate it. They hate how they get paid so much. They could be white for fuck's sake. They get paid so much. Like, you wanna know what the top paying job is in the majority of United States itself? A football coach. The
Wow.
football, a football coach is the most paying in the majority of those states right now. So they're not just pissed about the players; they're pissed about paying the coaches so much. Like a retired player wants to become a coach. There's a reason why. Like, he's gonna get even more. Like,
Colleges too. Colleges, Harbaugh got $40 million to go to college. Harbaugh got $40 million to go to Michigan and run their sports program. So it's colleges too, not only in the NFL coaches, but college coaches too, raking up.
So how much does a serviceman get? Like somebody in the Marines or the Army? What, 50?
In comparison,
80?
50 grand.
50 grand to 80 grand, like depending on rank. Like maybe
and then-
even 100 grand. Like, I don't know exactly, but like, these guys are not making $1 million a year. Maybe if they're a general, but like, we're living in a society where we pay athletes more than our military. Go figure.
And we wonder why the mentality of the kids is that they don't want to go into the military, and wonder why we have shortages at police departments, and we have shortages shortage in special forces.
It's a crazy shortage, man. Like right now, we're like on the cusp of having to deal with China and Russia at the same fucking time. And what are we doing? We're going woke. We're going stupid. We're putting more money in entertainment, in sports distractions, which is overall is a distraction. No offense to the players. It's just what it is. But like, we should be amping the fuck up. Like, I saw this report yesterday that was news. $7.1 billion of equipment was abandoned in Afghanistan. I'm like, bro, those fuckers over there are more armed than the Canadian Army now.
Right.
Like, what? Like, even India is reporting that terrorists coming over the Pakistan-India border are literally armed with American tech, night vision and everything. It's like, holy shit. This is a problem. Like, after the USSR collapsed, AKs went everywhere. Well, now because of what happened in Afghanistan, you're gonna have fucking M4s everywhere.
Right, coming through Mexico.
Shit's gonna go through. It's going through all over the Middle East right now. It's probably gonna go over to Mexico. It wouldn't even surprise me if the smuggling ops is so fucking powerful that I could even buy some of that gear here. Like, it's that retarded. How inept like things are. Like, that shouldn't be happening. Like, it's ridiculous. And like, and I heard from a friend, China bought some of the Apaches that were left behind.
Wow.
From the Afghan dump, and now they have more Apaches than Australia.
Wow.
So like, yeah, they done fucked up. They fucked up bad. So like, it's all a shit show everywhere, bro. Like, sports and all that. Like, yeah, I care about this. What's going on with this dude right now with his the allegations and whatnot, but like, I'm looking at the bigger picture and I'm like, holy shit, we're fucked. We're screwed. Like, the West is smoked if we actually don't shape up like quick.
You better shape up, cause I need a man. Rest in peace. Olivia Newton-John passed away the other day too. My mama used to love her and love that. Let's get physical. Yeah, man. Rest in peace.
Oh, she died?
Yeah,
I know the song. I didn't know the artist. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, from Greece. From Greece. I saw that on the paper the other day. So rest in
peace.
Rest in peace to her, man. I got another video I want to show of what is this? Deshaun, a press conference from Deshaun, and this is addressing the media for the first time after the suspension. So he's speaking in the same robotic fashion. It's kind of, it's kind of sad when but as a young man, like, even like what happened to you.
It's his lawyer telling him to talk like that.
Yeah, but it happened
Yeah.
to you. It happened to me. It happens to all of us men. And I'm glad I said as a young man and not as a young black man, because as a young man, especially depending on your size and intelligence, this happens to you, bro.
Oh, bro, like I got an IQ of 174. I'm also a giant, 6'3". So like I'm intimidating, bro. Like mentally, physically. So like it's very easy for somebody to just be like, oh, we'll make up lies about this guy.
So how many times have you had to come in and do this song and dance? I'm sorry, blah, 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 blah.
I
You
never
know,
have. I just stood my ground, man. I was like, fuck you. I'd rather lose my job. Bye. That's what I did.
that's
I
dope.
got I got hired somewhere else and I'm paid more.
That's
Cause
dope.
and like where I got hired, I told them the entire story, the whole works. Like the person who hired me is a female too. So like people who don't even know me, didn't know the situation. I told them the situation straight up at the interview. Like this is what happened, and it pisses me off. And they realize, like in my tone of voice, like the fact that I didn't hide it, I came straight up out with it. Like they know, like I ain't trying to hide this. This happened. Like that tells them right then and there, like this guy's got cojones and he's pissed off that she lied. Like you can read a man. Like if he's trying to hide these kinds of things, like if Deshaun goes around being like, "Oh, I'm gonna hide this," okay, so I myself will be sus. But if he goes around owning it on his chest, he's like, "Yeah, this fucking happened. Fuck this shit. I'm not gonna be sus." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree, man. Same thing happened to me, man. I'm proud of you, and I'm glad it worked out that way. You know, I'm still waiting on my blessing. I know God got something, great in store for me. But similar thing happened to me, and I was forced to stand on my own, stand on my ground, and lost my position. But it was really fucked up. But I tell you, I wouldn't be here if I still had that position. So I've been on.
Yo, every time a door closes, two more doors open.
Right,
Wise man once told me that.
right. And so a lot of the talking points that we go over, I've actually seen happen, like you experienced. I've seen the change in corporate America, right? And to all female managers and HR and everything. And what happened with me is another brother. It's funny that me and you have connected like this, but this has been my whole life because of my IQ and where I work. But two of us got let go. It was like me. It was me and my white colleague, and he got let go first. And he had spoke to me about it, and he said, we about to get let go because of that situation. I'm like, nah. Like, yeah, she can't, she's not gonna be able to stomach that, this female manager, right? I'm like, nah. And she couldn't stomach it. He called it, he knew it. So he quit. He actually quit. And I
Yeah.
was and I fought it and I lost. But he actually saw it. He said, man, he said, this climate has changed for white men and black men, and it's even worse for white men. And I'm like, this is the first time that I understood it. And he's like, this is what's happened with Trump. I'm gonna go first.
Bro, it's easy. It's easy to target white men now
Oh yeah,
because
he knew it.
we've been going through a period of dehumanization for like
Yeah.
10 years.
I saw it in real life. I saw her go after him. This is a white woman manager, and she went after him for being intelligent.
Oh
And,
yeah, oh yeah.
he was like, you knew that when you hired me, that's why you hired me. And that pissed her off. She just couldn't take it. He's like, dude, I gotta quit. Like, cause it's not gonna work out. And this is gonna be the way for heterosexual white. He was a Christian dude. He was married. He had a
Well,
family.
he's Christian and white. Oh yeah, no, he's gonna get the hammy.
She didn't give no fucks, man.
Yeah,
I
no.
mean, he was like, he didn't cuss. It's like, this is my guy. This
I
is my
shit you not. She probably went on a girl's night. She's like, hey, I fired this white Christian boy.
right.
Fuck the
But no,
patriarchy.
He quit. He didn't let her fire.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
quit and he got
good.
a job as a
Good.
manager at a different
Good.
hospital. So he knew it was coming. But for me, I was naive. I didn't realize that the world was changing because the target wasn't on me. The target was on white men. And he had this talk.
Well, and what's funny after these 10 years, man, there was a new article put out by like some woke dummy said that black straight men are the white people of black people, and I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah, that's Byron Allen. That was the grill. That was the root. We talked about that. We talked about that.
That's dumb.
Yeah, it's demonizing. It's demonizing of black men within the black
Well,
community.
yeah. Well, like
Yeah.
one thing they're really starting to go on because they're not done with white boy. They realize black straight men are like one of the biggest forces they can't silence right now. It's like even white straight men who have been censored and banned and you name it are supporting black men because they realize if they censor the black men who are talking, they'll look racist by their own words, their own motif. So they're in a trap. So white boy done played them.
Right.
And so like a lot of black dudes are like, why are all these white people supporting us now? It's like you have no idea. We can't talk. You can.
That's the same thing like what I've been bringing up with the no-knock warrant and how the NRA is behind the no-knock, getting rid of the no-knock warrant.
Oh yeah, man. I was watching that, man. I know the facts. Like she pulled out a piece. She did. She started blasting, and the cops were like, "Okay, fuck you." Boom, boom, boom.
It was one shot. Don't say
Yeah.
blasting.
Yeah. Well, she blasted
One
one shot, and like
one
all it
shot.
takes is one shot, man. Like if they see you pull out a piece, like even there, you didn't even pull the trigger, they'll blast you. So it's like I can't defend Breonna, but one thing I can say: a no-knock warrant breaking into somebody's house, especially in a hood, they don't know if you're a cop or a gangster, bro. Like,
Right.
like I'd be spooked. Like literally, I'd be like, "Yo, where's my bow and arrow? Where's my piece?"
Well, actually, they
Like,
were spooked. When I did, if you go look at my playlist, the guy who was charged, they was spooked. And if you look at how they acted that night, they didn't act. They were not professional, which is how she ended up dead. They didn't do the raid. It was a botched raid. They were not
yeah,
professional. They weren't well trained, and it was because they wanted it to be a botched raid because the goal was not to kill Breonna Taylor. The goal was to scare people and to
they were
make them.
going after. They weren't even going after her. They were going after the guy who had warrants on him. Like
They
he
weren't.
actually did have warrants.
They didn't. They weren't going after either one. They wanted the
No, no, no,
property.
no, no, no. The guy, her boyfriend, actually had warrants, like legitimately.
That's not what.
That's why they had the no-knock warrant.
No, they lied. They lied. All it was a lie. Expose it. That's why they getting charged. They lied about the warrant. None of that's true.
Oh shit.
They had no probable cause. There
So
was no.
the fact that they did a no-knock warrant was actual no warrant, no cause.
That's what they're gonna go to jail.
Is
They're not gonna go to jail for killing Breonna
that's
Taylor because you're right about the gunshot, and that's not what they're being charged for. And no one is.
yeah.
That's what I. They're not going to jail for shooting Breonna Taylor because you're right about the gunshot. If a police officer,
They're going to jail for like falsifying a reason to go in there, I guess.
correct,
Not
and they
even
lied,
might
and
not
they
even
lied.
be jail.
Right, they're gonna be found guilty of that, and they're gonna be found guilty of lying to the FBI. So that's the only reason that the feds came in. You know, the feds have a 98% conviction rate, so
That's
they're
true.
gonna get a conviction. So you cannot lie to a federal investigator. So off the
Yeah,
top,
you can't.
yeah, off the top, they're guilty. They can go to jail for a year or two simply because you
Yeah.
lied. On top of compounding that, you conspired before you came to the interview. So this ain't about Breonna Taylor. The feds don't like that shit. You can't play with the feds like that. So
Yo,
you
I got a prediction as well. Like, given everything that happened with Trump and them raiding him, you're gonna see a lot of black men vote for him, even more.
oh
I
yeah,
shit you not. They're gonna do a fuck the popo move and vote for Trump.
oh yeah.
Like,
We talked about that
it's
today on the Roger Report with Judge Mathis coming out and saying all this stupid shit about black men. This is the way they gin up support. The way they get black heterosexual men to vote Democrat or to not vote at all is they start demonizing and criticizing black men. Oh, you ain't black if you don't vote for me, or you don't love black women. So
right.
what happens, right? It's kind of like an adverse reaction. You would think that it would make black men vote Republican. Well, actually, no. Most of the time, what ends up happening is black men hear all of this disdain and we stay away from the polls. We actually don't vote at all. And then this sentiment sits in, well, I'm not going to vote because my vote don't count or nobody don't want me to vote. And this defeatist attitude sits in, and that's the goal of all the negativity, of making you feel like shit. You don't love your country. You don't vote. You don't do this. You don't do that. So how do black men react to that? They don't go vote. You would think they would go vote Republican because these are mostly Democrats and liberal talking points, and Democrat and liberal. This is their playbook. But the
Well,
reason,
and the thing is, you know who's actually running that? And like a lot of black women don't understand this. They're the cause of it. They are. They really are. They're the majority of the voters for the Democrat Party when it comes to the black community. Like Trump pulled in 11% black voters, majority men. Okay, all the black women they voted Democrat.
Yep.
Well, like there might be like one or two out there, like.
But that was Kamala Harris. That's why he picked Kamala Harris. That was genius.
Yeah, no, it was total pander. And she's not even like black, bro. She's just a quarter.
Not at all.
She's more Indian. Like she's literally India from India. Like
Oh,
her own people hate her. Like
this is a fact. This is a fact. This is a fact. Hey, I want to say thank you to Sir Anthony. Sir Anthony sent me a cash app for $5. So salute to Sir Anthony. Thank you. Y'all know the cash app don't never close. $ Big D Rants. Hit the cash app, man. It won't hurt you. Hit the share, hit the like, hit the vote. Let's check the poll, man. Let's see how many people, how we doing on the poll, man. How many people voted and what okay, we got 12% said the NFL is a private company, so they could do what the fuck they want. 25% said no, this is not justice. Wow, I would have thought more would say that. If innocent in court, NFL is wrong. 50% said the NFL is wrong. Okay, I like that. Half of the people said the NFL is wrong. 22 allegations he did something. 12% said 22 allegations he did something. I threw that in there on purpose, man. I've been trolling in my polls, man. I've been trolling in my polls, man, to bring them out, man. Bring them out, bring them out. It's hard to yell when the barrel's in your mouth. Ragnarok, what you got, man? I'm about to go to this video. What else you got for the people?
I think like I'm not somebody who's going to tell you to go vote conservative or Republican.
I am.
I'm going to tell people who will vote for their interests.
This is Black Conservative Speaks over here with my white melanated pilgrim partner right here, man. I am conservative, but you know what I've said here a lot of times is America, majority of America is Christian, traditional, and conservative.
That's changing, actually.
Yeah. I know.
It's changing so fast. Like the next generation is half white. The next generation is only 25% Christian as well. So it's like, oh shit. Like look, I know some people are like, oh, the white people are getting less and less, and some people actually celebrate it. But like, if a white person is speaking up against it, trying to find a solution to like solidify or even grow, yo, he's seen as a Nazi. Like, is a black man going to be considered a Nazi if he wants black people to have a happy community? No.
No, I saw these guys. I bring this up a lot. I saw these guys. So because of my research, and they were two white men talking about what you just said, and they were called white positive. And that's what they call it. It's called being white positive. And I thought I'm about to hear some racist white boys, right? Just like you. They have a very intelligent opinion like you. Guess what they said we need to do to help with the birth rate and everything? They said white men need to start creating their own culture again. He said we do black culture is the predominant culture in the globe. We don't make up our own dances. We don't make up our own music. So I thought I was going to hear some white men talking about killing black people and, hanging black people. No, they were saying for us to get our women back, for us to get our families back, we need to work on creating our own culture. That shit was very surprising to me.
Well, you're going to have those fringe assholes be like, let's go kill everybody else, like that Buffalo asshole. Okay, but then the majority, they want to use the love solution. Well, let's just have a baby. Let's just have a baby.
Black people. They weren't mad at black people. They weren't talking about black people at all. I'm waiting. I'm listening for them to say something racist or negative toward black people. They were being critical of white men. And how you let this happen, and stop fucking rapping, stop fucking breakdancing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was surprised. Be white positive, like being white. That's why we don't have no more white people, because you as white men don't even like yourself. I was so surprised.
So there's a lot of them who have self-hatred because of the 10 years of dehumanizing, and so, like, a lot of people don't realize, like, look, man, it's as simple as being positive, and yes, you'll be demonized even more for it. It's okay to have 10 kids, okay? I'd rather have a gigantic family, okay, than demonized. Like, hey, it is demonized too. So they demonize having a family. They overtax us. They do everything and anything possible to make sure we can't actually rebuild. And you can see it.
Ragnarok, my brother J Doe is requesting it. I got Manning Johnson, and it's color communism and what is it again? I got Manning. It's color communism and what?
Color, communism, and common sense. Manning
Common sense
Johnson.
and common.
Manning has two N's. MANNING. Manning. And then space Johnson, just like how you think you would write it. And then his book is Color, Communism, and Common Sense. So he used to be a high-level communist. He defected because he saw the lie of the whole social justice bullshit. Like, he literally writes these notes, like, and he was there in 1933 when Antifa was formed. Like, he brought all this to Congress in 56. Like, he literally exposed everything that's actually going to happen in the future, which is right now. And we're seeing it play out. Like, once you read his book and listen to his farewell address, which is an audio you can find on YouTube somewhere, you're gonna drop your jaw. You're gonna realize these commies are seriously trying to get black people to hate white people because they want a race war. It's because they use class warfare, right? And then they apply class warfare to race. Whites are the bourgeoisie, blacks are the proletariat type thing, right?
We're back to Hitler. We're back to this is the same playbook.
So what's funny is Nazis. So Stalin actually respected Hitler. A lot of people don't know that. Before they went to war with each other, because it was a workers' revolt.
Well, when
and it was a workers' revolt in the sense that the white German was the proletariat, and the Jews were like the rich elite.
Right.
So that's how they're actually socialists. People will tell you Nazis weren't socialists. They are. That's what the Z stands for. Nationalsozialism. Like, literally. They're crazy. People don't want to associate Nazism with the left, but they're actually more left-wing than people think. They're just more Puritan. Like, when you see these lefties today being woke and being racist and shit and using socialism combined with their racism against white people, that's like Nazis complaining about Jews. Almost a Q same. Like, it's ridiculous. They don't even see it. Going around having race riots and stuff over the summer of 2020, like
what you're explaining is how BLM was used.
Right? BLM is so, like, you've heard of Romania?
Yeah.
So Romania, the communists there, they were black shirts. They're literally called black shirts. They would go around demonizing the police, doing anything they can to lessen the police so that they can then create their own police force and actually enforce their partisan law. Not be bipartisan, like not even let politics, like a good cop is a cop who won't let politics control him. A bad cop is a cop who will persecute you just because you're something else. You know what I'm saying? That's the fine line right there. Like, be it racial or political or religious, that's the fine line. If he's non-biased, that's a good cop. If he's a biased motherfucker and will persecute you and put you in a gulag or concentration camp because you're different, be you a Jew or somebody who's just slightly richer in the USSR, like, we've seen this happen over and over and over again, and nobody's learning from these lessons.
And Ragnarok, we talked about this before when I talked about the Ukraine. The same thing happened in the Ukraine. And these same people you can't leave out. You just said that these conservative communists are Nazis. It's the same thing that's happening in the Ukraine. So I brought out the fact that they're in Romania, they're in Germany, they're in Austria. They're not just in the Ukraine, and they're going to the Ukraine to fight. And what that guy said in 2014, he was one of the men, how you just described. He was able to get that Azov to become legitimized as a real part of the army. But now he's in the parliament. And what did he say in the interview? He said he wants the final conflict, which is a race war. That was the goal from the beginning. That's what's going on right now. So
Nazis, so like these Nazis, be they white or even black Nazis, yes, that exists. Like a black supremacist who's like hardcore against white people, that can exist too. Like, look at South Africa, that's happening. you can look at all these places where a group of people use socialism in a racial way. That's what's going to happen. The final conflict for a communist is the working class against the rich. The final conflict for a Nazi type person, or even just a racial supremacist of any kind of background, would be a race war.
But they're synonymous from what we just said, though. Right? That's the thing.
It's disgusting, and
When
you
I
can see
said-
the media prop it up.
When
They
you
don't
said,
care. They don't care about Deshaun. They want people to hate the white prosecutor.
when you said the liberals are in this, in the connection, I thought of the Dixiecrats and Biden and Hunter and
Right,
Hillary. And like, yeah, for sure. This is the connection.
bro. Like, you had Nancy Pelosi, I think it is, said that China is the freest place in the world. I'm like, what?
That's why they don't want us to travel. Hey, I got my brother J Doe up here with us. J Doe, how you doing, bro? What you got to add to this illuminate conversation for us, man?
Man, hey brother, thanks for having me. Thanks for bringing me up. Perfect timing, man. You guys are spitting fire. I just wanted to add, what's his name, Ragnarok. Man, you're really hitting some very key points, and I think,
I love history, bro. History's repeating.
yeah,
Well, it's not repeating; it's rhyming.
absolutely, absolutely. And I was pretty naive to this years ago, but there's a big agenda that I think 98, 99% of black people do not realize is, again, we're being used to push this communist agenda.
Bro,
We're being used.
when Manning Johnson defected and said, "I have to help my American brothers," which includes white and black, because he wanted to stop the race war, they found him in a car crash randomly.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
like
man.
that Def Comedy Jam joke. As long as you hate white people, or as long as you Ragnarok hate black people, we good. When we start working together,
Oh, it's a wrap.
Malcolm X got killed.
Yeah,
Like everybody
probably.
get killed every time they start.
We're gonna get Malcolm X. We're gonna get MLK'd.
Right? As long
Like,
as you racist, as long as you hate the white man, they good with you. But as soon as you be like, you know what, Ragnarok, you all right. If we work together, bang, bang, bang.
Yep. But
they would
yeah, man.
love. They would love to see a
think
race war, bro. They really would.
black people are like I don't know exactly. We're like a galvanizing force. We're being used to kick this off, and I think it's bigger than a lot of. I think overall, like they're trying to make uh, government pretty much our gods. They're trying to
Yep.
eliminate us having a god or some type of moral spiritual connection with a higher being, a higher entity, and that communist government, which is they're going to be pushing, and we just don't realize it, but that's what they're pushing. It's going to be
Yeah.
God, and they're going to have complete control.
Bro, they're
That's
gonna burn Bibles is what they're gonna do.
Yep,
This is
exactly.
already started. I did a story of how
Yes,
they
they
shut
Oh
have.
yeah,
I'm in
they have.
California. I'm in California. During the year that shall not be named, churches will shut down. I'm a spiritual. That's when I started preaching. That y'all go to my
Bro, churches weren't just shut down, bro. In Canada, after the whole like the native children and grave shit, which they admit they never found, and it was communal graves, like actual graveyards. Guess what? Even though they never found a single body, guess what? Over 11 churches in Canada were burned.
people don't hear about this, man. Well, I was very surprised. I took the video down. I was very surprised about people's lack of knowledge on this. So California church was outlawed, and it went all the way to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. Then it went all the way to the Supreme Court, where the Chief Justice told Gavin Newsom, "You have to figure this out because you cannot. They have a right. It's a right, right? They have a right to church and
freedom of religion.
Freedom of religion, right? But guess what? One of the Chief Justices said. The person from the Lucky Charms community, the woman from the Lucky Charms community, in her response, she said, not only was church outlaw, but singing and chanting, because they said you could pass that thing, right? And I always bring up, why did they outlaw chanting? Why did they go to
Bro,
the
they arrested a pastor in Canada for trying to still have prayer during, yeah.
but not just prayer. Listen, chanting. I'm indigenous. I'm not from Africa, right? So it meant a lot to me because my grandfather and everything I'm not gonna go into now because that shit is too crazy on YouTube. But what I say to a lot of people is, when did you find out that you were Indian? Like, who told you? Like, because I found out very young. So when they when they made chanting illegal, not just singing gospel music, but chanting. Listen to what incantations, chanting. People think this shit is like fantasy. No, chanting and incantations are real, and they made them illegal during the year that should not be named. Rain dance, war dance, things like that are real, but they've taken them away from our people, my people, right? And the Supreme Court,
Yeah.
this woman said, you have to prove to me why you need to be able to sing or chant if you want me to vote to open up churches again. So the reason why I bring this up, no bullshit, no bullshit. So check this out. The reason why I bring this up is they start everything in California. Free weed, gay marriage, what was the other one? Prop 209, affirmative action. It
You know
was
what's strange?
everything.
You know the whole like legalized weed movement? I noticed a lot of commies infiltrated that. They did. That's how they propagated as peacefully as they could with
And they
weed.
make money.
They made money, and then, but you also have a lot of libertarians who are not communist, like combined with them and like work together and blah blah blah. But then now it devolved into like weed's not the issue anymore. It's all racial justice and blah blah blah. So then they got more violent. And it's not even the weed movement itself. It's just they were in there at first and they spread their ideology in that movement quite a bit, even in Canada, bro.
It's cartels. The Canada cartel just bought out Northern California. But look, check this out. This is my point. They start everything politically in California. And the goal of this legislation was to propagate across the entire country, right? The goal, when they won in California Supreme Court, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeal said you can keep churches closed in California. And the goal was what you guys just said, to diminish people being able to be spiritual, and what goes in California generally goes in the rest of the nation. So Gavin Newsom was going to push this out to other states to shut down churches in order to get your numbers down. And the only thing that stopped it from propagating to other states was Chief Justice John Roberts, because there were several Chief Justice, including the lady I just spoke about, who were with Gavin Newsom, who were with shutting down church in the entire country. And that's why it started in California. We're the fifth largest economy in the globe. We're like our own country. So if we could keep church closed in California, then we could convince these other states with like a minuscule amount of people compared to California to close church there too. That's what they've done with weed. That's what they did with gay marriage. They start everything in California, but they lost. But this fight will come back. They'll find another way to close churches and then to push that out across the country. This is the beginning of what we're talking about. When you close churches, that's the beginning of that C word. You know what I mean? And then these arbitrary courts like we're having for Deshaun, right? And then, like you said, when people create their own protection, what's being forced when the liberals, this makes a lot of sense when you explain Romania, because it makes me think about Oakland and Portland, where there's not enough police to police everyone. So what's going to happen with the people who have enough money to protect themselves? They'll create their own protection forces, right?
Yeah, if they're not partisan, they're going to be gangs. That's what it is.
That's what they're designing some way to happen right now. When you got 38 police patrolling 200,000 people, what I said is you really don't have police. What you have is a billboard on four wheels. They can't stop driving. They can't pull anyone over. They can't stop any crime because they have to stay mobile to give the appearance that there's a police presence, or else the human beings will act like they acted in that city in Seattle. Remember that Chad, how motherfuckers just went crazy?
Chaz. Oh, man. It wasn't just Chaz, too. Like, there was the George Floyd zone. There was all sorts of zones that they literally started occupying.
So
and like, bro, there was a little black girl in a van with her parents. They were driving, and they accidentally came up on the Chaz like blockade. Bro, they riddled that car with fucking AKs. Nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about how like 2 kids went joyriding and that same thing happened. But over 800 people died in that summer alone from arsons, burning alive inside buildings, getting shot. Like, you had that one dude in Portland who got executed because he was wearing a fucking Trump hat. Like, they literally gang jobbed him. Like, you had multiple cars show up, and this guy came out, white dude with a BLM tattoo on the side of his neck, come up to him, bang. It's like, oh fuck. You had this autistic kid get fucking tortured by 2 black girls and 1 black guy because he was wearing a Trump hat, and he was literally severely autistic, and they fucking Facebook Live that stuff.
So, and the result of that was they defunded the police in Portland, and Portland homicides. Portland. So that's how you respond. That's how Portland homicides are up 207%.
And like, conservatives, especially white ones, had to be like wary. Like, you couldn't wear your Trump hat in these places. You get whacked. It's ridiculous. And then when they did that to that autistic white kid, bro, holy shit, the heat was on. Like, shit went down, bro. Like, you had people become vigilantes and actually stop Antifa and BLM. In multiple cases, nobody talks about that.
And I just want to speak. I don't know how deep that what Manning Johnson book went, but even our beloved.
Oh, it goes so deep, bro. He exposed how they want to use black people.
But what I wanted to touch on, and unfortunately, he's very beloved. And maybe this movement did start off as grassroots as well. Maybe it started off grassroots. I'm pretty sure it did. But even the civil rights movement had a lot of the C movement behind it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
No, I'm okay. No, seriously, you're not wrong. I'm okay. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, both of them were avid communists in the beginning. But towards the later end of their lives, they're like, fuck that. Nope.
And that's why they were taken out.
Yeah. Like, it's not even like think like the white supremacists and the commies, they hate each other, right? So the commies want to use the black community as cannon fodder, and the white supremacists, like, that are hardcore, want to get rid of the black community. So they're working together, be like, yo, rile them up, then we'll take care of them. It's like, they're literally that fucking psychotic. Like, they will fund both sides of this war if it ever goes off.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part. That's the sad part, bro.
And that's the thing, like I said, I think 99%, maybe even higher, 99 point something, probably down to the tenth of a percent, that most black people were ignorant of this stuff, completely ignorant of it. We just see the surface level things going on, and it's even deeper stuff going on, and that's that's the big one right there.
Well, most of the time, what I need.
I just had to give J-Dog some props on that. Yeah, man.
I have to go. I got to get out of here.
Go ahead, bro.
So, like, my closing thoughts is this. Most of the times when I talk to somebody who's black, and like I tell them, like, I have grievances with the system, he's like, well, you're white. White people own the system. And I'm like, bro, you have no idea. The system fucking hates us. Probably even more than you. Like, because we keep standing. Like, you could take us out, you could put us in the genocide, we'll still come out and fuck you up. It's like, we're that hardcore. And like, people are just standing up for themselves. And like, so like, when I talk to somebody who's black and is like, oh, the system's bad, it's evil, white people own it, I'm like, bro, white people don't own it. Most white people are working class. They're getting taxed to shit. And then he'll reply, oh, so you're funding them. You own it. I'm like, no, no. If I don't pay my taxes, I get the IRS up my ass. Like, so would you. So like this whole system is being geared to turn us against each other, left, right, black, white. It's insanity, man. And I hope people come together, like like that's why I'm more of a centrist. Like, people got to stop fucking around, man. TV tells us what to do. Talking heads tell us what to do. Tell us how to think, how to dress, how to be. It's nuts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see a bunch of dudes in suits of all races and political lines, but like, oh, screw this, man. I'm trying to do business.
Right.
And this whole like civil war, left, right, white v black. It's bad for business.
Fucking up the money.
Never fuck with the bag. Rule number 1.
Yeah.
And that's all, bro. Have a good one.
Bro. Ragnarok in the building. Incredible Hulk, Thor Ragnarok. That's where that name come from. That's one of my favorite Thor movies. They fucked up Thor with this new one, though. Don't go see it. That's one of my favorite Incredible Hulks, too. The Incredible Hulk that was on Ragnarok. Ragnarok was the planet, that war planet. So that's where he got that name from. Thor Ragnarok. That's one of my favorite Incredible Hulk characters. J-Do. Yeah, man. Today, when we was on the Roger Report panel, man, I don't know where that be coming from, man. I think I handle myself well because I'm on Roger's panel, so I know I could. And I actually like Pan-African. But people be listening to other panelists and go to the other panels, and there'd be a lot of sucker shit on YouTube and ignorant motherfuckers who be trying to sound smart. And most motherfuckers do not understand what you're saying about the levels, man, of political theater. Like, as I've been saying that, more people have been saying that in the theater of war. People been saying that, but shout out to Kev Gills, man. Like, Kev Gill's been doing a lot of good work lately. It's really helping me in some of the points I've been making for years when I've been talking about the theater of war and how Kev Gills has connected Disney to the government and to the Nazis. Like, and to let you know, like, when Kev Gills is talking about Disney, he's saying what J-Do was saying, like, if there's actually theater, right, who's helping the government create it? Like, that's why the CIA has an office in Hollywood. Like, when you hear about this shit from certain intelligent people, but you don't never pay attention. But right, you know what I'm saying? Like, who?
Perfect timing, bro. You on that level, bro. Like I said, I think, man, most of us are ignorant. Even like I said, I was ignorant to it probably a few years ago, brother. But man, it's levels to this, man, and it's deep. Like, yeah, man. People kind of underestimate how deep it runs, bro.
Man, these are characters, man. There's a lot of people playing characters and roles. Like, so what I was saying today about political operatives, you gotta, like, and my brother was making my point for me, like, why do you see this video? Like, the girl who was talking about Martin Luther King, B. Simone, why did we see that video? The person with the brown bag is the one making sure you see the video, because everybody don't see my motherfucking videos, but I bet you if I had that brown bag, I can get my video seen. Right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
I could create my own narrative, right? That's what's happening. It's not by accident that a minuscule video of Judge Joe Brown or fucking Judge Mathis, who I ain't seen, I haven't watched him in 6-7 years. He hasn't been relevant in a good 10-15 years, right? But for some reason, in the most influential election coming up, when something called a red wave is coming up, these talking old tropodelic talking points is being wheeled out. You know what I'm saying? Like with a gray beard. Like, you ain't heard this shit for 20 years. It comes with, and magically it goes viral. No, it's not going viral magically.
They dug it up. It's practically in the graveyard, bro, in the plot, and they dug it up and brought it back out, man. Brought it back out, man. And we, and my point on even on Roger's show, Perfect Timing, bro, was like, basically, man, look, man, we look at Judge Mathis. He looks like us, man. He comes from what, Detroit? You know what I'm saying? That's a black city, bro. And he rose. He had a little problems with getting into crime, and then whatever rose to become a judge, man. So we get, and he got a little swag about his stuff. You know what I mean? So we're attached to. We don't want to believe that these people are being used, man. And I don't. I kind of look at them like a ideological enemy, but I still don't look at them as like a mortal enemy at this point. But bruh, it's like, man, they use our own people, man, to spread this bullshit, man, and
They use our people's
it's as simple
ignorance.
as that.
They use our
Yeah,
people's ignorance, bro.
yeah,
They
yeah.
use, and today, this is not off topic. This is an example of the complexity and the lengths that they will go through to create fabrication, right?
Mm-hmm.
25. Yeah, they set up this lie from the beginning. This is what you've been talking about: nefarious, insidious. 60 masseuses, we automatically assume that it's his fault. But he doesn't run his sports medicine and his sports health. His team is supposed to be taking care of that. Why didn't the team provide him a dedicated masseuse? Because it's what we're describing. This is the theater of war right here, right now. We want to keep him here. He is the most expensive commodity that we have, and anybody and everybody wants him. He can never leave Texas. How do we get him beholden to Texas? So we're going to put him in a honeypot scandal. Force him to go to multiple masseuses. And then now, out of the 60 masseuse, we can create this fantastical story. We got 25 women out of the 60. We spoke to all 60. I'm going to just put it out there. I know for a fact they spoke to all 60. If you know it was 60, you threatened them with 60. They spoke to all 60. They had 25 that would come forward. He hired a brilliant lawyer who understood what we understand about theater. Oh, okay. You said you claim this? You had this happen to you? You know what? That's pretty serious. You should have go to the police and file a police report. And you probably should have done that. But then they would be affected and held liable to that law that you guys talking about, that if you make a false report, then you do the time. So out of the 25 women that came forward, more than half of them, 3 or 4 said, I ain't going to the police. Like y'all said, all I had to do was this. Again, more of the same. Characters, theater, reminds you of Trapped in the Closet. And when that girl wrote the book, Trapped in the Closet, and every time in the interview, when they said Trapped in the Closet, she stopped the interview and said, well, technically, I wasn't truly trapped in the closet. I was mentally trapped in the closet. But the book is named Trapped in the Closet. R. Kelly is in jail for RICO Act for trapping your ass in the closet. But you wasn't really trapped in the closet. And you just said to us on this radio that you can come and go when you please, and you had thousands of dollars, and your daughter said you bought a Mercedes. But somehow R. Kelly is in jail. So which one is it, bitch? What are you? Did he do something to you, bitch? Or are you just a character in this motherfucking story that everybody is watching? Right? So that we can get Me Too off. Because this is still Me Too. Don't forget they mad about Johnny Depp winning. This is still Me Too. This ain't about even Deshaun.
Yep. And hey brother, and the media has effectively made the face of sexual assault, sexual deviancy. They effectively have made it into a black man.
Yep.
They just made it to the black man with all these, like you said, these characters. A lot of these people, a lot of these organizations, a lot of these corporations, a lot of these very rich and powerful people, they're all interconnected. Like we think these are all separate entities that works in separate. No, they work together. And CIA has an office within Hollywood. Man, it's a lot of our. It's probably quite a few of our favorite actors, producers. They work with them people, man. They work with them people
Now,
to get things done.
You saw the article I read, right? Very surprising to me. So why wouldn't that exist in Hollywood as far as Hollywood executives? And why wouldn't they keep agendas going? This is what's happening with the FDA. Everybody was very surprised to learn that the people from Johnson & Johnson and Merck work for the FDA and then go back and forth after they work for the FDA, then go work for these private companies. And then you wonder how Johnson & Johnson gets these products on the shelf that hurt people. Well, the boss worked for the FDA this year, then came back when he didn't get approved. Then he went back and instead of trying to change the drug, they just hired the guy back from the FDA and then they got it approved. They go back and forth. A lot of people were surprised. Then I read the article. Let's bring it back up. I read the article that told us, because I was extremely confused when I did my research. I said, okay, the boy was acquitted, right? But then I see the NFL talking about judges and all this different shit, right? And then it comes to find out this is a whole separate court. I'm like, I'm American. What's going on with a whole separate court? So we read and we find out that the NFL has people going back and forth from the government, just like the FDA. So why wouldn't Hollywood have that? So what we have here, what was it? The Attorney General? Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Where's that Attorney General shit at? The Attorney General, blah blah blah. Oh man, I lost it. But the Attorney General made a decision, now working for the NFL, and then a federal prosecutor now works for the NFL, and she also is working in this as an arbitrator in some type of court for the NFL. And I'm like, wow, Attorney General for a whole state, that's pretty fucking big and powerful. And you go from Attorney General of a whole state to working in this arbitrating court for the NFL, a lot of us didn't even know existed. So what ended up happening with Deshaun is that this court said that he should get suspended for 6 games, but Roger Goodell, the NFL, wanted to suspend him for a whole year. And that's how we get to 11-game suspension, because I guess he was held to the judgment of this court. And I guess this court has some type of connection to the government, just like we're saying Hollywood has some connection to the government and the pharmaceutical companies have some connection to the government. It seems very odd to me. And then he also has 22 civil cases. So the brother had to go to criminal court. The brother got to fight 22 civil cases, and the brother also had to go to some NFL court that I didn't even know existed. I'm trying to find this shit, but y'all know I'm blind, deaf, dumb, crippled. I'm an old nigga plus 3 years.
It's not only double jeopardy, it's triple jeopardy, huh?
Triple jeopardy, bro. And this is in America, which is why we went down that whole C word rabbit hole, because of this type of thing happening. It's not supposed to be legal, and he's forced to get this $230 million guaranteed money to go along with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Where is this at with my blind ass? Deshaun has committed to hard work and return to NFL. More sense of suspicion. We're grateful to Judge Robinson and Peter Harvey for their efforts in addressing these matters. Judge Robinson and Peter Harvey, right? Which laid the foundation for reaching this conclusion. You might read that and be like, oh, a judge, huh? Like a criminal court or a civil court. No, this is neither one of those. He was acquitted by the criminal court. That's not the judge. The league also announced Thursday to contribute to fund the league players ahead of a ruling by former New Jersey. Okay, the league and players union reached the agreement ahead of a ruling by former New Jersey Attorney General. New Jersey, that's mafia. There's so many layers to this shit, bro. The Attorney General of New Jersey is working for the NFL. I know somebody from Jersey is laughing right now. Come on, because we talking about corruption on top of corruption. Doesn't it make sense that the AG, remember the shit with the bridge and Chris Christie and all? Doesn't it make sense that the AG from a corrupt state like Jersey, the mafia haven, would end up working for the NFL on some nefarious shit?
Wow.
That's the top cop of the state. The AG of California went on to be the drum roll, please. Kamala Harris, Vice President of the United States. I'm not making this shit up, man. So you can go be the vice president or you can work for the NFL. So the AG of New Jersey, Mafia Haven, went on to work for the NFL and made a decision on Deshaun Watson, right? But what we found when we scrolled down more is there was a lady, right? There was a lady, here it is. Watson's initial discipline was handed down by disciplinarian officer Sue L. Robinson on August 4th. Robinson, a former federal judge.
Man.
Jato, is this what you're talking about layers?
It's layers. And you know what? Hey, perfect timing, brother. Hey, man, it made, and this is what we can read, because most people aren't gonna go into this deeper layer. And I wonder what other connections that might be there. Like maybe even familial, like maybe who's related to who or who's married to who, or you know what I'm saying. It may go even deeper than this. You know what I mean? And
Right.
who's up for who's going to be running in the future for different offices, or you know what I'm saying? It's all types of stuff, man. And I know that the average most of our people, man, we oh man, you got your damn 10-4 hat on, man. But no, bro, they do this, man. This is what they do. And we sit back and think this shit is all a coincidence. Oh man, damn, I can dog, this stuff is repeating itself, man. We're seeing repetition patterns, man. And it's not by coincidence.
No,
And brother, and your brilliance, brother, you're able to dig deeper to that to these other levels, man. And like I said, most of us are ignorant to it, man.
man, I give all the glory to God, man. I'd say Perfect was always,
Absolutely.
man. I thank him. It's been footprints in the sand, man. I didn't even want to go by the name Perfect. I got my name Perfect from the Roger Report panel. The brothers over there was like, you got to go by Perfect. I didn't want to because I knew people would challenge me like what happened today. I just wanted to get my message out. But ever since I accepted the moniker, you know, God been there every foot of the way, making sure that perfection is emulated and that he's held us. So, you know, I give him all the glory in that. Like, you know, it'd be very difficult, man, because, you know, the numbers don't, I'm a Leo, you know, and I'm a sensitive, empathic person. And I want gratification, and I'm human at the same time. The flesh is weak, but you know that's why I pray and stay prayed up to move forward with this shit because it'd be difficult, right? Because the lack of the lack of knowledge leads people to not be intrigued and interested. You got to have a little bit of knowledge, right, in order to even listen, right? So that's why I do my best to lay out, you know, methodical points and give people a basis and context from my perspective. And it's truly just my perspective and my opinion. I know I come across very strong, so you think that what I say is gospel. No, this is the perfect perspective. It's the perfect man show. So this is my perspective and my opinion like assholes. Like that's why I love when Ragnarok come up because he has a different perspective and a different opinion, and I respect that and it's intelligence. So I don't want people to get carried away with my vernacular and the way I come across. You know, it's a very strong presentation. So you might think, well, he thinks he's all no. That's not that. It's my perspective. You can have your perspective. You know, everybody's entitled to their perspective. It's fun having a podcast. It's difficult, but you know, I get to be right all the time. Like if you were anybody thinking about creating a podcast, one benefit is you get to be right all the time. I create the topic. No one tells me what to do, and then I support my own topic, right? I could be wrong as fuck. I support what I could create some bullshit and then I can go find something to support that bullshit, right? So, you know, that's the fun part. But it's just I want to present. I use these different topics to couch the Roger rules and the cool table politics, right? That's what this is all about. At the end of the day, we use these different topics to couch the Roger rules and the cool table politics and to wake people up to what they should be doing as black men and as men. Just like Ragnarok is here as a white man, he has a black wife, but he's understanding what the requirement is of masculine heterosexual men in Western society, right? And that's what this is all about, waking us up to our calling and so that we can see the layers, right? So that we can move more politically advantageous, right? So we can have an intelligent voice, not just have a voice, but speak intelligently. That's why I did the show on Breonna Taylor to give everybody just insight to actually to why it happened, that it wasn't racism, it wasn't drugs, it was gentrification, right? And the same thing here with Deshaun Watson. He wasn't a sexual pervert. You know what I'm saying? He didn't assault anybody. He actually was acquitted. And there was 9 people that came forward. That's a lot of people. 9 people came forward. And they listened to hours. A grand jury was convened. That's scary if anybody's ever been through that. Remember Benny Siegel with the grand jury? A grand jury was convened. So this was not a small thing. They were looking at him to get him, and they couldn't. And even after acquittal, if you look at my poll, why I'm so inspired, why I'm so triggered is that even after acquittal, most of the black male YouTubers I've seen has still found a way to find guilt for Deshaun and provide cover for the NFL's second judgment. And not talk to the 22 civil lawsuits that he will face. And why the system is set up to the point where even once I am acquitted of something and it's obvious that it is a lie, I still must face 22 civil suits where my money can be taken away, I could be disenfranchised, and there's a lower threshold. There's a lower threshold. These women don't have to actually prove he did it in order to win in civil court. How many people understand that? As we talk about nefarious, as we talk about the layers, how many of you understand that there's a lower threshold of proof? And they don't even have to prove that he sexually assaulted them in order to win the money.
Hey, brother,
go ahead, bro.
you
Please.
you spitting facts, man. I just think, man, I speak to this a lot, man. Just I'm most concerned about black men, of course, man. But it's like I think our egos get in the way to where we think we got it all figured out when we really don't, man. And even and even for you to even dig into this deeper level and see what's going on, perfect timing for you to, you have to kind of at some point humble yourself and figure out why is this shit not adding up. So you dig deeper to see like what's going on here. It's got to be something else here. So it's a fact that, man, a lot of us we don't. I say, man, anything that's been played out in the news, the media, man, it's usually never what they tell you. It's something else to it. So, and you got to be able to humble yourself and say, man, I don't know it all. Let me find out what it is, man. And black men, we must do that. We must take the time to do that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me read. Check this out. I got on the screen. This is a little meme. It says, we suspended for 25 games. Bet on his team, suspended for 17 games. Targeting, I don't even know what that is. I don't watch sports anymore. 12 game suspension. Trace amount of PEDs. I don't even know what that is. 6 game suspension. I'm assuming it's some type of performance enhancement drug. Got free tattoos. 5 game suspension. Alleged sexual assault of 25 women, 6 game suspension. Key word here, alleged, but that's not actually true. To be in all honesty, after his acquittal, this is actually not true, right? It's not actually alleged anymore. This technically is he got suspended for 6 games for being accused. They shouldn't say alleged because alleged implies that he may have done something wrong. Am I wrong? Am I reading that wrong?
Not at all. Not at all.
Alleged implies that he could be guilty, but so that I'm not liable whether he's guilty or not, I'm going to say alleged. Right? But maybe that word is okay because alleged is akin to accuse, right? Alleged or accused is, but I don't like it because it's actually not true. Right? He's been acquitted. So this word, I don't like the way this is worded. I'm triggered by this. He's been acquitted. And I believe
whoever created this visual, like I said, brother, they use a lot of psychological things, man. They playing games with, they talk, we blah blah blah, and they're trying. Whoever this is, they're just insinuating that, this guy. Even if they'll throw the word alleged, but really they already know that the effect is he's pretty much guilty. Like yeah, man, it's like a smoke screen. And they're just saying, "Hey, this guy got off easy." It's like a psychological hit to people, man. And if enough people look at this, they'll just say, "Oh, this motherfucker, he guilty, man." It's very insidious. It's very insidious. It's purposefully and it's deliberate, man. Just that little visual right there.
Right.
Most people be like, "Oh man, this nigga, yeah, he did it."
It's very
And he got off
Emmett Till.
easy.
It's very
Yes.
Emmett Till-esque, isn't it? It's very Emmett Till-esque when I call it the King Kong Kung Fu. Like, we could be made into King Kong at any given time. Like, we have this we inherently are sexually deviant, right? That's what this speaks to, the Negro, right? At any time they pull out this Negro card, man, you are inherently violent, you are inherently criminal, and you are inherently a sexual deviant with an oversized phallus and a prowess and a sexual prowess. You can sing and dance and you can fuck the shit out of my wife. We got to do something about these guys. We got to do something about these guys. Right? And it's all this shit, man. It's all, Black Uber said it today about the penis envy. It's all this shit that come out. Like, he had to do something wrong. Why? Because you black guys, you know, you got big penises and all the girls like you. What do you hear the pain in that? You know what's in that? You know what I'm saying? There's a real penis envy in that. To where you're not able to see the reality. You're not able to humanize this young man. You're not able.
And you know what, Perfect Time? Even with them contrasting Deshaun Watson's alleged activities or whatever, they're criminalizing all the other men on them. Even though they're trying to play it as if they didn't do as much as he did, they're criminalizing all these guys, but they're looking at the head criminal, the one that committed the supreme heinous acts as Deshaun Watson. But they're trying to contrast it, but at the same time, they're still criminalizing the rest of the gentlemen on there too.
Good point. I never looked at it like that because I'll be tunnel vision on my topic. Wow. I don't even know those other brothers' names. They're not even worthy. They're not, think about it. I'm a black man. Thank you, brother. Hold on. Because they're not even worthy to have a fucking name.
They're just black men. They're black men. You can see that. I don't know their name. You don't know their name, but we can see that they're black men.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So the point has been.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. I'm just excited. Go ahead.
No, brother. No, that's all. You know, it's just like, and that's why when brothers like us, when we get together, man, we can kind of cover these things all together because we can see it from a different point of view. That's why you're so valuable when you're speaking, brother. You bring a unique point of view, man, and you bring facts, man. You can tell you've done your research, bro. So you're not, and I know you say you speak on your opinion, man, but I'm sure you formulate your opinion based off facts, man. You don't just spew off the top of the head, off the top of the dome, bro. But yeah, all of these guys are criminals. They're kind of hinting at that, but they're just saying the head criminal, he kind of got off lightly. You know what I mean? That's what they're saying. And all of these guys are black.
I gotta interrupt because now that you say that, we can really unpack something about this. Look at the pictures that they used. Look at the brother, and shout out to my brother, Kency and Red, aka House Phone. Kency and Red is my brother. He been supporting me from day one. And Kency and Red has an AOL AIM account, and he uses dial-up to watch me, right? So when Kency and Red is in the chat, that's why he's not in the chat all the time before the whole show, because when he's online, no one else in the house could use the phone. So that's why that's my brother. I call him aka House Phone. A lot of people watching don't know what a house phone is, but it used to have a landline. In order to get on the internet, you have to take that landline that in the kitchen, take the phone off the hook against the wall. That's why we used to say off the hook, and you would hear Kency and Red still got that type of internet. You know what I'm saying? That's my brother. He's struggling, but it's all gravy train. You know what I'm saying? AKA House Phone, AKA AIM, AKA AOL. Kency and Red in the building. He clarified targeting is helmet to helmet collision, right? Helmet to helmet collision, right? Now, look at the brother picture as we go deeper to unpack this photo.
There it is.
Come on, we talk about political theater,
Yeah.
propaganda. We talk about deep think. We talking about subconscious programming. You know what I'm saying? This is on your children's social media. It's on your girlfriend's timeline. Look at what the picture that they chose to use of the brother who's been convicted and punished for targeting. Doesn't he almost look like an animal? Huh? Look at the
Big
picture.
black brute, dog. A
Come on,
big black brute.
he's almost growling. He's almost growling in the photo. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the pictures that they decided to use of these men, right? No name. So they don't identify you. It's like a dead body when they don't put a name on the dead body, right? You don't know who he is. All he is a weed. That's what you is. You weed. And it's like hot sauce changes his name to crackhead, right? I can't be an Ivy League. I can't be a business owner. I can't be a millionaire. I can't be successful. I'm a crackhead, right? That's what you reduce me to, a crackhead. Now, and everybody might laugh and wonder why she does that, like it's abnormal, but me and J-Do are presenting to you absolutely why it's happening, how, and why it's actually happening more than you think. This is why hot sauce was deemed a crackhead by a random black woman, huh? Right here, this programming here. Who is he? Weed. Who is he? Drug addict. Who is he? Violent. Who is he? Tattoos. Who is he? Sexual predator. Who is he? Gambler. Not an NFL player, not a millionaire, not a father, not a college graduate, because most of these men playing in the NFL went to college and played football and graduated from college. Some of them highly intelligent. Huh? We leave that out, huh? Do y'all realize NFL players are college graduates? I said earlier, these are the elite of the elite. Why not show a picture of their college graduation with a cap and gown? Huh? That's why it's so easy to throw us away. Images like this. He has to be guilty of something, right? Because all of you guys are what we see right here. This is what you guys are. This is all that gets shown of us. Even as an NFL football player, I missed it. My brother J-Do had to bring it up. I missed it. That these are actually men with names. We don't humanize. We're not humanized. This is a perfect example of the programming. What you say, bro?
Hey, can I be heard, bro?
Yes.
Oh no, I was just saying, man. Basically, with that whole picture, that visual there, they're saying violent. So if you targeting people for helmet to helmet contact, basically you being overly violent. I mean, because football is inherently violent, pretty much, but violent. So really, he's trying to cause head injuries. You have and drug users, tattooed up, legal gamblers, and sexual assaulters, sexual deviants. So that's if you can just sum it up right there.
Okay, you can't do nothing right. Even as an NFL football player, one of the hardest jobs to obtain, the elite of the elite. This is how you classify us. This is how you see us for making a mistake, for being human. Think about that. I was talking to my wife about this the other day because she holds me in high regard, right? I had to tell her I'm human. I know how many men, like J-Do, you've been in the military, so I know I picked on you the other day for having a six-pack. But what happens is, your wife and your kids hold you in high regard, and when you make a mistake, they don't know how to respond to it. Like I'm human, baby girl. Even your son, you gotta tell your son, like, daddy, Superman and all that shit, but I'm a human. I need you to know that because I need a certain type of love from my son, from my wife to understand I'm human. And black men, I know that affects our mental health so much because we're forced to be cool. We're forced to be tough. When do you get to be human? Flawed. When do you get to be in a state of growth, state of reflection, state of grief? You constantly have to be producing. And you cannot make a mistake, or just like these men who have reached to be millionaires, college graduates, NFL, the elite of the elite, one mistake. I'm human. And this is it. One brother today said, Deshaun's going to have to deal with this for the rest of his life. And he was acquitted. And it's, I laugh, but it's not funny, but it's true. It should not be true. And you know who does not have to deal with any ramifications from this? The evil people that certain men in the black manosphere would say don't exist. You know what I'm saying? The racist head office of the Houston Texans that put all of this into motion, the racist NFL owners who don't let black people own teams, who had got in trouble for the Brady rule, who the Cleveland Browns is already in trouble because they one of the teams that's been that was highlighted in that lawsuit with the Bradley rule or Brady rule with the head coaches suing that all they've been doing is interviewing because of this Bradley rule, but not giving us jobs and paying coaches to lose. Remember the guy went to Cleveland and all this shit?
Yep.
Oh yeah, man, I did my shit, man. Racist NFL owners. Yeah, I can say that based on that law. Y'all forgot about that lawsuit. Again, like my brother said, no, I ain't gonna talk out the side of my neck. Rest in peace, Mama Shirley. That whole lawsuit is based in racism. Y'all forgot about that. I didn't forget about that. It still hasn't been fully litigated either, y'all. And it's a class action lawsuit for more black coaches to step up to the plate. Yeah, racist NFL owners. None of that get talked about. How magically this came out when he wanted to leave Houston Texans. So Deshaun got to carry this cross the rest of his life. But how the Houston Texans handle this young man because he wanted to leave, that never gets talked about. That ain't even a story. These arbitrators that exist, that's only on the NFL website, you guys. That story I read, that's from NFL.com. Like J-Do said, they don't expect us. They don't expect us to go that deep and that article is not for us.
Not at all, bro.
There's no titties.
Not at all.
There's no beer. There's none of that shit on that list. You know what I mean? There's no bikinis. There's no Bud Light. There's no Spud McKenzie on there. There's just words. That article's
no
not.
Ass and titties, bro. No ass and titties, man.
That article wasn't for you. That article is not on TMZ. That article is not on Bleacher. It's not on Media Takeout. But on NFL.com, the commissioner said he was predatory. Say that shit, Ken. Roger Goodell wanted to suspend him for a year, even before he heard that he was acquitted on all the allegations. The accusation was enough. But you know the truth, Ken? This is what Ragnarok and all of us, this is what the ignorance, it's about the money. And what I said was, what do the Pilgrims get? Because remember, the baseballers went on strike for a year. What kind of guarantee? Because I'll be hearing the baseball contracts be like 300 million, 500. The baseball players be getting billions, right? It's the first time a black man got this kind of paycheck, and these motherfuckers is not happy about it.
Not at all.
Do y'all understand? Remember Deion Sanders be doing a hell of an interview in education for football players about he didn't really get that kind of money. And they've talked about when Shaq went here and because Shaq got signed for $100 million. But you remember Shaq would stay getting a $100 million contract, but it wasn't $100 million guaranteed. That's the first time where a black man has got $230 million guaranteed. I'm going to say it again. $230 million guaranteed. Cleveland Browns. And the owners are pissed. This is a brand new owner. He's only been an NFL owner for 10 years. He ain't like grandfathered into the racism like all the other NFL owners. So he didn't know that you don't pay them like that. And he gave this black man $230 million, and he been catching flack the whole time. But the Cleveland Browns has been struggling since they came back. So he had to do this to save his team. And he's not the first person to do it. There's another guy they mentioned that got the guaranteed money. So people have said it actually was a smart move because they know that black men should have been getting this guaranteed money because it's happening in every other sport for every other race. These are all the things that's not talked about. How much do the baseball players get guaranteed? And why do the baseball players get paid differently? I bring that up all the time. Deion Sanders be spitting true. Deion Sanders, that's why he went to that college to educate the kids on guaranteed contracts. So now with Deshaun getting this contract and Deion Sanders coaching at a high-level college, and now you got students who normally would have went to a Notre Dame want to go play for him to get the not only the football on the field knowledge, but off the field knowledge. Hold on. Not to get only the football on the field knowledge, but the off the field knowledge. So they're going to be the most valuable player, but then they're going to have the knowledge of these guaranteed contracts because Deion Sanders was their coach, and Deion Sanders was their financial coach. Man, we're going to get up out of here, J-Do. What you got on it, man? I'm coming up on 3 hours, man. It's been a good conversation, man. I didn't even know it was that far along, man. I had another video I want to play of Deshaun responding to today's decision, but I'm going to let you get your close. Are you want to watch that video with me before you close?
You know what? I got time, brother. Let's do it.
All right, let's take a look at Deshaun. And, you know, I did not watch this yet. There's a live reaction. So some of the videos I watch, I started to watch this. I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to watch this with the audience. I'm going to watch this with the brothers, 5.0, 5.0, 5.0, because I like the one earlier was very triggering when the way that white man was talking to him and the way he had to respond. Like, I've been in that situation before. That shit fuck with me, that video. So let's see how he gonna have to talk to get this $230 million. Keep in mind, his brother can maintain his innocence the whole time. He's very intelligent, very articulate. You know, he doesn't fit the typical, like the picture that we saw earlier, the way they make us think that football players are stupid and shit. So let's see what he said after. This is him speaking today after the decision came down from the NFL to suspend him and fine him $5 million. But he will be able to play this season. He will miss a couple games, but he will be able to play this season and start receiving that $230 million contract. Let's see what he got to say. Let me put myself on mute. And we go to the video.
Process to be, to a close and to an ending and have some clarity. And I'm looking forward to just moving forward with my career and being able to get back on the field as soon as possible. But yeah, that's the plan, is to continue to grow as a person and individual and keep pushing forward.
What made it 11 games? How did we get there to 11 games? 5.
First off, I want to say, I'm very grateful for the NFL and the NFLPA for this disciplinary process to be, to a close and to an ending and have some clarity. And I'm looking forward to just moving forward with my career and being able to get back on the field as soon as possible. But yeah, that's the plan, is to continue to grow as a person and individual and keep pushing forward.
What made it 11 games? How did we get there to 11 games? $5 million.
Personally, I'm not sure. That was what the legal side and NFLPA did. My main focus was to come here each and every day and be the best teammate and player I can be.
Hey, Deshaun, why did you wait so long until after the to apologize for what you did?
Well, I apologized beforehand. I think the second time I spoke to you guys, I actually apologized. But I think for some people, it didn't maybe register as I was apologizing. But I just wanted to clarify. I was apologizing to all women and people that was affected about this situation because it's it's definitely a tough situation.
Deshaun, how did you go from I've done nothing wrong, I've never disrespected any woman, to settling so many of these lawsuits and now agreeing to this discipline? How did you get from that point to this?
Well, I've always been able to stand on my innocence, and I've always been able to sit here and. Sorry, you want me to?
Do you care? Thank you.
What are 4 secrets that most doctors never explain that could help reverse mental decline and improve brain performance?
I've always stood on my innocence and always said that I've never assaulted anyone or disrespected anyone, and I'm continuing to stand on that. But at the same time, I have to continue to push forward with my life and my career. And for us to be able to move forward, I have to be able to take steps and put pride to the side. And I'm going to continue to stand on my innocence and keep pushing forward. And I've always, stood on not disrespecting or sexual assaulting anyone.
What are you apologizing for then? What are you apologizing for?
For everyone that was affected about this situation, there was a lot of people that was triggered.
But not the women that accused you of this?
I've apologized to all women. So anybody that was affected, even yourself, everything. So I'm apologizing to everyone that was affected about this whole situation.
So Deshaun, was this more about moving on with your career than contrition from your point of view? This resolution,
This is a live crucifixion. This is a live hanging. This is a live reaction. Is y'all seeing this shit? God, dog, man. I don't mean to stop the presses, but holy shit bags. What the fuck is happening right now? Wow. Right, kid? Right, kid? What the fuck? Yeah, crucifying and raking him over the fucking coals. He was acquitted by a court of law. What you apologizing for then? What you apologizing for then? How did you go from saying you didn't do anything wrong to now apologizing? I maintain my innocence, bro. I gotta move on to get this 230 million, nigga. So they said I gotta apologize. Nigga, to all women, nigga. God damn. Holy Simonians. Back to the tape. Back to the motherfucking tape. Fair use, fair use. Perfect Time of Podcast. Back with the blast. 5.0, 5.0. This shit is lit.
Move forward with my career, move forward with my family, with my personal life and everything.
Deshaun, the last time accomplish in counseling that you have to go to, if you don't, feel like if you stand on your innocence the way that you do, what can you accomplish by the counseling and treatment?
I have to grow as a person. I have to be able to communicate and talk with people. I have to continue to, know each and every situation so I don't put myself back in the situation that I was just in. So I have to continue to just grow as an individual. My whole outlook of just myself as a football player, but also as an individual, as a human being.
Your first game back with the Houston, how do you feel about that?
Right now, that's down the road. Right now, I'm focusing on getting ready to practice against Philly, and just focusing on being the best individual and getting myself back in shape and getting ready and prepared for that moment whenever it comes.
Well, Deshaun, last time we talked to you, I know you said you weren't thinking about settling. I guess what changed between then and getting those settlements done?
Like I said, I have to continue to move forward with my life and with my career, and things happen on the legal side that you got to continue to just keep pushing forward and moving.
Deshaun, if you maintain your innocence, is this punishment unfair?
I can't speak on the fairness. I only can really control what I can control, and that's throughout this process. The NFL did what they had to do, and the NFLPA, communicated what the legal side. Like I said before,
the judgment is highly unfair.
Football player and quarterback, I came for the Cleveland Browns, and I let the legal side handle their side.
You must have an opinion on whether it was fair or not.
Of course, everyone has their own opinion, but I think, for my peace and my sake, I'm gonna keep my opinion to myself.
Oh, he killing it. He killing it. He killing it.
on the team?
Smart move, brother. Smart move.
Killing it.
Honestly, I think from my experience being in that locker room, I think the team was focusing on being the best teammate in Cleveland Brown that they can be. So I know that, guys was, of course, probably thinking about the situation, but at the same time, we were all focused on, being what we can and building that chemistry as the Cleveland Browns and getting ready for the season.
There's one civil lawsuit left. Are you pursuing a settlement then?
I can't get in the real details on that, but I'll let my legal team continue to handle that.
What changes to massage therapy will you now make as you go forward with your career professionally? Because massage therapy is an important part of being a professional athlete. So what changes there will you make to ensure that anything like this does not happen again?
We have a plan as an organization, and we just got to keep, attacking that plan and pushing forward and making sure we're all on the same page.
Deshaun, you're going to take a lot of heat for I stand on my. I'm sorry, you're going to take a lot of heat for I stand on my innocence. I mean, I'm already seeing it.
For years, the laws in California have protected
all over social media. So, what is going to be your response to that when the world comes down on you for standing on your innocence throughout this process?
Well, I have to do what's best for Deshaun Watson at the end of the day. And I know what happened. I was in those situations, but I have to continue to push forward and keep moving forward. And that's what.
He hit her with the third party. He hit her with the third party. He been practicing that since 8th grade.
No, ma'am. I didn't have a reaction. Fans are, they're able to respond how they want to respond. And, I can't really control that. So that's their environment. My job is to go out there on the field and make plays for the Cleveland Browns.
What's your reaction? Sue Robinson seems to believe the accounts that the NFL presented in that hearing. She used words like egregious. How do you square what she wrote in her ruling and what she thought happened with your belief in your innocence?
Yeah, I know who I am. I know what type of person I am. I know the character of person I was raised to be, and I've always been. So that's the
amen. I know who I am.
Show who Deshaun Watson really is, and the people that meet me and that's around me, they'll figure out who I really am too.
Why do you think she saw it one way or saw it differently than you?
I can't speak for Miss Judge Sue Robinson. I can't speak for her.
How do you feel about missing 11 games with your new teammates? How does that make you feel?
I mean, it's a tough situation, but at the end of the day, I have to continue to make sure that I'm around as much as possible as I can be, and just continue to put in the work and let, support the guys that's around, support this team. I know these guys are going to do very, very well. We're all professionals. We all here to do a job and to accomplish a goal, and that's win games. And I know the guys in that locker room are going to do that.
Deshaun, I know Coach Stefanski before had kind of talked about he thought you were doing the work to become a better version of yourself. I know you've talked about counseling, but what else does that entail for you in the future, and what else have you been doing since you've been here?
Just continue to be in the community, continue to show my face around and show the people who I really am. Counseling is definitely a big part of that. I can't get into details of exactly which counseling that is, but at the end of the day, I have to continue to show my face and show people who I really am, especially in the community that, I just became, a citizen in. So I have to continue to do that.
Deshaun, are you confident that there will be no more accusations forthcoming?
Yeah, I can't speak on that, too much. Like I said before, all these things that kind of came forward was a surprising to me. But, I just have to continue to push forward as a person, as an individual. And, that's
Did you have the opportunity to lessen the suspension by agreeing to a heavier fine?
Like I said, I have no idea. This was my legal team and the legal side. So my main focus was to come out here and just make sure I'm participating and doing the best I can as a Cleveland Brown on the football field.
Deshaun, what are your thoughts?
To clarify, I just want to clarify what you said earlier. What I heard from you is you saying that you still maintain complete innocence, never did anything wrong to disrespect anyone, and you settled the suits and agreed to this punishment more to move on with your career, with your life, and that kind of thing. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I'm moving on with my career, with my life, and I'm continuing to stand.
What a piece of shit!
Just because
what a piece of shit!
Things like that happen doesn't mean that a person is guilty for anything. I feel like the person has the opportunity to stand on his innocence and prove that, and we proved that on the legal side, and we're just going to continue to push forward as an individual and as a person.
Both the commissioner and Sue Robertson used the term predatory to describe the allegations made against you, and in her findings, she used that as well and said that you had she felt you had a sexual purpose for recruiting these massage therapists. How do you respond to those public allegations?
Like I said before, I think
I was acquitted.
You asked that question earlier, but I know who I am as a person. I know how I was raised. I know how I interact with people, and that's what all I can do is continue to prove that and show people that. And the people that don't know me, whenever they do come in contact with me, they will know that.
Can you be around? Could you know the rules of the suspension?
Good.
Can you be around the team? Can you play in these last 2 games? And when during the 11-game suspension, can you be here?
I think we're going through that process. I don't know the full detail because everything just happened today. So I have to get with my organization and my legal team and see what can happen.
Last one here. Mary Kay, go ahead. Mary Kay, go ahead.
Since you stand on your innocence, will you come forward and tell your whole side of the story so people understand why you believe you are innocent?
That's definitely the plan. That's definitely the goal. I feel like through this whole process, we've been trying to tell my side of the story, but a lot of people wasn't able to or didn't really pay too much attention to it. But one day we will. Only time will tell. And like I said before, just continue to keep being the person I am, keep showing the community how good of a human being I am. Have I always been, how I was raised, and I just want to continue to show that and keep pushing forward.
Hey, perfect timing. Hey, brother.
Yeah,
They
man.
were
Yeah,
speaking
man.
about they were speaking about therapy, right? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I can imagine, man. They will probably force my brother, to go to therapy. Remember the chick we were discussing, the one that's supposedly a therapist. They're talking
Oh
about black men
yeah.
need emotional vocabulary.
Right.
They would probably force him to go to someone just like her, brother. They will force they will force my man Deshaun Watson to see a chick like her.
And put him in further.
You know what I'm saying?
Put him in further.
Yes, danger.
Right. Because you ain't leaving Cleveland either.
You know.
We didn't pay $230 million. Don't let me put a whammy bamby on your ass. We ain't playing over here in Cleveland yet. You about to go see.
You gonna say?
You about to go see
You gonna
Rashida.
say he did something to her, bro?
Yeah, he about to go see Rashida.
Boy, set him up real good, man.
Man, this is tough, man. This is tough. So, did you see how, man? That was disgusting. That was absolutely disgusting. The way they spoke to him and reiterated over and over again, and with how they reiterated his innocence without emphasizing the acquittal. Like, it makes sense for me to stand on my innocence. I was acquitted. Right? They made it seem like it was illogical for him to do what he was doing. It makes sense for me to stand on my innocence. I was acquitted. Right? I was acquitted by a grand jury. None of you are speaking to that. I thought that was in poor taste, and they tried to get him upset. Those were disgusting. I wish that style of journalism would be over. That was extremely disgusting. But we live in this culture where everybody wants to get a soundbite or a reaction, and this brother did not give it to him. And he's been this composed the entire time, which speaks to his character and his ability to perform these acts. And that hasn't been brought out. Hey, J-Do, we looking good up here, man. I'm gonna just have to say that right now. This is like real visually. This is dope. PTP in the building, man. What's up, RB? What's up, KC and Red? What you got on it, bro?
Well, brother, man, I just want to I want to thank you again for even allowing me to share my thoughts here, man. And like I said, man, you're doing brilliant work, man. Keep it up, people. Hit the cash app. share, like, you know what to do. Get the word out to my brother, man. And I'm behind on the cash out, my dude. So once I get mine up and running, I gotta shoot you some dough myself, man. But I appreciate what you do, man. Keep doing your thing. Salute to you, bro.
Salute to you, brother. Thank you for coming. I always love when you join. Intelligent commentary, a very introspective brother. You're able to see the things that the pictures that I paint. So that makes the artist feel really good. So thank you so much, brother, for sharing your art with us. And please come back again. Thank you for your support, bro. Have a good, blessed evening to you and yours, bro.
Same.
Salute, Jado in the building. Great show. Another great show, impactful show. I got an appointment tomorrow at 9 a.m. Y'all make sure y'all check out the Roger Report. So I don't know if I'll be going live tomorrow. Depends how I feel. You know, I haven't done a sermon in a long time. I got this. I've been wanting to do a sermon on lust. And I haven't put it together yet. You know, I've done a couple sermons after Mama Shirley passed away, but ever since Mama Shirley passed away, the sermons and the preaching been difficult for me. But you know, it been put upon me to do another sermon about lust. So it's in my head. It's, you know, I meditate and we pray every day. So it's working its way. You know, it's like a seed been planted. So it's sprouting. You know. So we gonna get that out. And it actually came up on the panel. I know that's why I'm bringing it up again today. I've brought it up before, so now I hear people discussing this. So I need to do this sermon on lust. So that's coming, but you know, I generally don't do podcasts on the weekend because you know I'm a husband and a father. So I dedicate that time to Mrs. Perfect Timing and Bubba and my princess. And there's a movie, we might go see that movie with the dog, Super Pets. So I owe Bubba a movie. So big popcorn, big red vines, big pizza, and Miss Perfect Timing want to go to the drive-in. So I don't know. We got a drive-in out here. Y'all got a drive-in where y'all at? Y'all fuck with the drive-in? I got a bad back. I'm not big on the drive-in, but they love the drive-in. I'm gonna bring my chair. I'm gonna bring my recliner from Costco. I'm gonna bring my pool recliner from Costco. You know, that's what I'm gonna do, and we're gonna go to the drive-in and check out that Super Pets. However they want to do it, man. And you know, so but that sermon on lust is coming. That sermon on lust is coming. Y'all remind me that sermon on lust, because we gotta talk about it. We gotta, you know, the way it worked at the 5.0 cool table is we clarify topics and we trouble the water. We start, you know, we you know, we are the wave, you know. You know, we are the wave, and people just, you know, they follow and surf the wave. So I know when I've been called to put certain ideas out so that they reverberate around this sphere. And lust is one of them I need to talk about. So today I was really blessed with Jado's presence and Ragnarok's presence. Bless you and your family, two intelligent brothers. We talked about Deshaun Watson being suspended for 11 games and fined $5 million. We dug a little deeper to find that Deshaun Watson is the first NFL player to receive $230 million guaranteed contract, the largest contract of its size to date to 2022. No black man has been paid like that. And under further research, we found that when Deshaun Watson, these allegations first started when he said that he wanted to leave Texas in the Houston Texans. Deshaun Watson, while in Houston, had over 60 masseuses. He was threatened by the organization to file allegations up to 60. That never was discussed. How and they knew they could get 60. Well, they knew how many masseuses he had. Because they forced that. So out of the 60 masseuses, 25 came forward. Out of the 25, only 9 filed police reports. But keep in mind, what you learned today from Deshaun's lawyers is they only filed police report after being prompted by Deshaun's lawyer, because Deshaun's lawyer was probably going to sue them. If you recall, going back to the Bill Cosby case, Bill Cosby sued Gloria Allred and won $3 million. For the first time when she tried to come at him with this shit. She lost and he sued her. That's why she took it personal the whole time she wanted to put him in jail. She don't even give a fuck that he got out. So we learned a lot today. Out of those 9 people, a grand jury was convened, a jury of his peers. This is America. A judge. And they listened to hours upon hours of testimony. And after that, he was acquitted of a criminal trial. Now, not one accuser, not 2 accusers. And R. Kelly, it was like 5. Bill Cosby, there was 5. He had to face 9 accusers came forward. Y'all remember that, right? Bill Cosby, they talk about 80, but not all came forward in the criminal case. They did not have enough evidence to be used at trial. They just had their word. They just made claims, alleged claims, right? But 5 in R. Kelly, 5 in Bill Cosby. Deshaun faced 9 accusers in the grand jury, and he was acquitted. But what we learned today is that the NFL has an arbitrary committee, a judge, and it's staffed by the ex-Attorney General of New Jersey, extremely corrupt state, and ex-federal judge. And these individuals are the reason why he wasn't suspended for a year, because the NFL wanted to suspend him by a year, but I guess the NFL was beholden to this body. I guess it's part of the players' union or association. KNC and Red said, before I go, well, fuck, I got a lot, bro. I collect black pops. So, and some cartoon characters. But I collect all the black ones. When I be seeing black ones, I'll be collecting black ones. I got Black Panther, Muhammad Ali, Tupac. I got Biggie. I got Ice Cube because I wanted Ice Cube in the 6'4". I got Prince. I got Will Smith. I got Cyborg from the, DC, the black guy, the black member of the what's the name of the DC? It's not the Avengers. What's the DC one called? I got that guy. You know, I got Thanos. That's a 10-inch. That's a collector. He not supposed to be out the box, but Bubba took him out the box. So he ain't got a box no more. But that's Thanos up there. You see Thanos, and I got Thing. That's Thing from Fantastic Four. So I got, how many 10 inches? I got 3 10 inches. So I got Thanos, I got Thing, and I got the Mandalorian. I got the black one. They had a black one and a red one. That might be worth $100 right now. All of these have gone up in value. So I bought that for 20. I think that's worth 100. All the 10 inches are like worth $100 right now. So when you get a 10-inch, that's a popular one. You see it, you buy it. I buy them on sale. But that Mandalorian one, that's hard to find. And that's might be my most expensive one, but worth the most money. I got a lot of Black Panther ones. I know that was gonna be collected, worth a lot of money. I got a couple. I got Chadwick Boseman. I got a couple Black Panther, but Bubba ran through them too. I think I got the daddy and I got the son and Black Panther. I got Killmonger. You know I had to get Killmonger. I usually have Killmonger next to each other, but I got the wrestlers, the three wrestlers, and I guess one of the guys is the champion with Big E, Xavier Woods, and what's they called? I forget the name of the group, but I got all three of those guys. Oh, I got George Jefferson. Oh man, I had to get George Jefferson. George Jefferson, man, hold on. There go George right there. There go George. Wheezy! Wheezy from the Jeffersons, man. George Jefferson, man. Oh man, I had to get him, man. I had to get him. And then when we were talking about the Scarlet Witch, I was gonna bring him out, but I actually talked about having him when we did the Scarlet Witch show. So that's Carl Mordor. So I got him. But I collect black pop, so it's all black, mostly black people, and then like animals and shit that I think is black. Like Incredible Hulk is black, Thing is black, Mandalorian is black. Like if I collect something like that, in my eyes, that's a black person. You know what I'm saying? Like Chewbacca is black. I think I had a Chewbacca. I had a Chewbacca. I had a Chewbacca. Man, Bubba and Arya be coming in here. They be opening up everything. And I got a bunch of Star Wars ones. I had like 10, it's like 10 or 15 that got Bubba opened up. I had like Minions and SpongeBob. I had remember, you know, Moana. Moana was one of our favorite movies, right? So I had The Rock, Maui. I had Maui from Moana. Man, I was like, ooh, this is a good one. They got me. They got me. The BIG, I like that one. I got Big. I got Big and Pac. Big and Pac be next to each other. And Muhammad Ali. But I ain't bought none in a long time, though. I don't really buy them no more. I ain't bought none in a long time. But one of the latest ones I got, I'm looking at it right now, is my Lando Calrissian. So I think I might have 3 Lando Calrissian. I got Finn from Star Wars. I got the original Lando, and I think I got the new Lando. The Billy D is clean. Billy D is the cleanest. Who is that up there? Oh, that's Killmonger up there. Oh, that's Killmonger up there. I almost forgot. That's Killmonger up there. I got Kyrie Irving. And I got 2 Incredible Hulks up there. I got the Thor Ragnarok Incredible Hulk. And I got the Avengers Incredible Hulk. We got the suit where they went in the time machine. That's an 8-inch. And you know we had to get Kyrie Irving. You know we had to get Kyrie Irving because when people see Kyrie, you know Kyrie is a unique motherfucker, man. Kyrie Irving, you know he'll start a conversation, especially for intellectuals. You know what I'm saying? First they see the toys, they're like, "Oh, you got Kyrie Irving," blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, that's why I bought Kyrie Irving. Kyrie up high because people was still Kyrie Irving, so I got Kyrie because it's a conversation. The Funko Pops and the toys conversation, and then I collect all black men mostly. I don't have any black women. I had the black girl from Star Wars, but I collect mostly black men, right? And so Kyrie Irving, right? So I had to get Kyrie. Kyrie fits with the collection. It's crazy. Can't see the rest. I collect a lot of stuff. Got to put away for my nephew when he gets older. He will open stuff too. Dope. That's dope. That's why it's King Ken. That's why I always say King Ken. That's why it's King Ken. I'm going to get out of here, y'all, because I don't want it to be too long of a podcast. My back been killing me. My baby said it's the mattress. I don't gotta buy a new mattress, man. I just got this, man. It's tough, man. Oh shit! And she just said we need 2 new tires, 2 new back tires. Let's go get 2 new tires this weekend. Okay, on the SUV. Okay, y'all have a good night. Y'all have a good night, man. Y'all have a good night, man. Y'all have a good night, man. I gotta get out of here. I was thinking about playing some music, but I don't want the podcast to be too long. So y'all gonna have to play your own music. Y'all have a good night. I love y'all 5.0. Y'all be blessed. I don't know if I see y'all tomorrow. So if y'all see me tomorrow, then y'all be surprised. Salute to my brother King Ken, all of 5.0. Let me shout out everybody again. Thank you to I got a Cash App. Thank you to Sir Anthony for the Cash App, and that means so much. Shout out to RB, KNC and Red. Who else we got in the building? We had Ragnarok, J-Do, Tracy. Hey, Tracy, that's my sister right there. Ty Pan, another intelligent brother. Love when you join the panel, and I love your commentary, man. Brandon Warrington is a BBC fearmonger. Oh, okay. I did thank you for that clarification, brother. And then there he goes right there. And I want to thank you also for coming through. Hopefully you subscribe and you'll come back again. Troll us anytime. Come on back. And thank you. And I salute your bravery for leaving a comment, because most people won't even leave a comment with perfect timing. They don't. I mean, it's also stupid. It was ignorant. Most people do it stupidly. It's not like they do it with intelligence, or else you probably wouldn't have did it. You wasn't listening long enough and you did it out of stupidity. But I respect that you did it, bro. KP for KC5, man. Exactly. Did you see the way did you see the way his interview went? That was fucked up, KP. Did you see that shit? Did you see that shit? They said, how can you stand on your innocence, bitch? Because I was acquitted, bitch. What you apologizing for, bitch? Because whatever I got to say to get 230 million, motherfucker, you will never have 230 million. That's why I'm saying it. And they didn't like the fact that he admitted that. I'm saying it because I got to say it to get this money. I need to move on with my life and get this paper, motherfucker. So they want me to apologize. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Who you apologizing to? Everybody. If you didn't do nothing wrong, who you apologizing to? Everybody. Everybody was affected. I'm sorry. But you didn't do nothing. No, I didn't do anything. I'm innocent. That's why I was acquitted, motherfucker. Shout out to the NIW. Deshaun Watson, official member of the NIW. Niggas in the wilderness. Shout out to Black Uru Stites, elder of the NIW. Niggas in the wilderness. James Davis. Don't they not forget they let Big Bill. Hey, man, how long you been watching? Because I've been talking about that, man. I've been talking about that since the beginning of the Me Too movement, man. This is Me Too, man. This is them fighting back against Johnny Depp, man. The more accusers, the more believable Deshaun case is. If 20 people cannot produce a shred of material evidence, then he did not do it. Furthermore, these are grown, educated women. Evidence. Shout out to Ty Penn. You know what I'm saying? I like that lawyer he had. You know what I'm saying? The lawyer pushed it back on him. So you had this happen to you? That's pretty serious accusation. You know what you should do? You should go file a police report. And you know what, young lady? You probably should have did that from the beginning. And what happened? Only 9 Only 9 was willing to talk to the police because they knew the severity. Oh, it's different when the rabbit got the gun. It's a different story now, huh? Y'all told me that y'all was going to use me to get Deshaun to stay in Texas, right? But now it's different. Now you telling me you need me to talk to an FBI investigator and you want me to lie to the police. I'm not going to do that. Only 9 women out of 60 potential women agreed to lie to the police. And he was acquitted. Those women, Taipan, I know Taipan, those women should be brought up on charges. Ragnarok, those women should be brought up on charges and go to jail. Those women should be brought up on charges, right? I know, and I'm not on no black pill. I'm on some legality. Those women should be brought up on charges and go to prison after everything he's been put through. Those 9 women who lied to police to change the behavior, to make women think there's going to be accountability, that you cannot just lie to police and make up lies against men, or else it will happen again where they will be able to get some women to go to the police and say a lie because they don't think that they have consequences and accountability. Those women who went to the police and lied those fake police reports should be put in prison to deter women from lying. And women should be educated that if you are sexually assaulted, you go to police right away. We should stop infantilizing women because anybody else will be held accountable for not calling the police on the night of the event, because the police need to do a proper investigation if you're really concerned about the person being arrested that offended you. We had to stop infantilizing women and treat them like every other citizen. You should have called the police when you were offended. That's the way it works. And we require that from everybody else but women.